What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. You are listening to the Stadia Initiative podcast. Today's date is Friday, August 21st, 2020. This is episode 10 entitled Triple Bogey. It was originally entitled Autumn, but some recent events made me change the name of the episode. We'll get into that, of course. But we record this podcast live every 2 Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time right here at youtube.com/Club Stadia. And my name is Brian, but I believe it is time to assemble. Chase, right next to me. How are you doing, friendo?
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Hi. I've had better. How are you?
I'm great and just had something to eat. So, just living life.
Absolutely. And MM2K also with us. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great after eating about 3 dozen wings. I'm feeling good, man. Thank you for the break, Cap.
Thanks for You're welcome. Eddie, what's going on?
Oh! What's going, guys? I just had fish and chips, and now I'm taking some local beer.
I believe it's called fries. Never
Stop it.
Meg, how are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah. I'm happy to be here. I missed you guys.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Hey, Meg, Escondido, is fish and chips or fries?
Fish and chips.
Thank you.
But we don't, that's
Canadians,
the only time we
right?
call fries chips is because fish and chips just sounds better than fish and fries.
Well, fish fry. Never mind. Okay. And Germani, Hawkeye, he's out on the farm for a few more minutes, so he'll be joining us in a moment. But I'm trying to settle down here. So should we just jump into it, or should let's talk about positive things? What have you guys been playing? Chase, what have you been playing lately?
So there's a surprise on the VIP after show. Hang around for that because I have something to talk about that I'm not going to share now because most of you probably already know it. Anyways, just stay around for the VIP after show. It'll be worth it. So as far as what I can talk about, what did I play the other night? Son of a. Yes. So 2 rounds of Destiny. That's for sure. And then I also played a little bit of Orcs Must Die. And then I jumped back into Kona again, which, by the way, really good game. Wow, really good game. I'm really impressed with it. I'm continuing to fall in love with that game. Like, it's actually a pleasant... I don't know why I'm saying it's like a pleasant surprise. It should not be a surprise. A lot of people talked about how good this game is. It's a really good game. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's really good.
Awesome. MM2K, how about you?
You caught me in the mid-wing.
Eddie. No, I'm just kidding.
Of course, the Division. I finally beat the island. For those that follow my content, y'all know what that means. The island's been kicking my ass for the last 3 weeks. Finally beat the island, and then after the $5 sale, the flash sale of NBA 2K20, I actually gave that a whirl last night on my phone, and then next thing I noticed, it was 2:30 in the morning, and it was time for me to take my wife to work. So I'm enjoying that game. So those have been that's it. Not a lot of gaming, just working on some other stuff. But those are the 2 games I've been playing.
Awesome. How about you, Eddie?
The Crew 2 have been my go-to. I've been playing some Mortal Kombat 11. I'm better, I believe. And I'm playing with this fingerboard that I just bought it.
Awesome. Tech deck? I got mine somewhere hiding.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Since I can't play the demo of Tony Hawk, I'm playing with the fingerboard.
You're about 20 years late on that fad, but
I know. I think I used to have one in middle school or probably middle school, I guess. It was so fun.
I'm grinding here. You know what I mean?
Those are the fidget spinners of the 90s, man. So I mean,
that's true.
That's actually a fact.
That's true. How about you, Meg?
Look like Meg.
We'll get to that. Go ahead. Keep talking, Meg.
Elder Scrolls. I've been playing Elder Scrolls. I didn't get super into it when it first launched, but then I don't know, something happened and I've been playing it like crazy. And I switched my class to Templar from the Necro that I had made originally, and I'm enjoying it a lot more. So I think I just picked the wrong class and I wasn't really feeling the gameplay before. So yeah, I've been lost in Elder Scrolls for the last little while. And today I tried a new game that released, not the golf game, I tried Spiritfarer. And so I spent a good part of today playing that game. So that was really fun. Very different. So, yeah.
Awesome. How much of Spiritfarer have you played?
I played a couple hours. Basically, I feel like I learned all the basics, and now I'm kind of about to be let loose to my own devices. I kind of finished learning everything. It's very cool. There's no combat. That's the most unique thing. There's lots of little mini games and building and gathering and stuff, but there isn't actually any fighting. So it's really, really chill. It's a really chill game.
You know how long is to beat, Meg?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if it is.
If it has an end?
Yeah, I think it's possible you just keep eventually you must have the biggest ship with all the rooms and all the upgrades and everything. But I don't know if it actually ends or if it's just an infinite journey. I don't know.
I'll start playing that tomorrow. That's why I was asking.
From my quick 30-second research, 20 to 30 hours is the gameplay.
Okay, so there is an end to it.
Yeah.
20 to 30 hours. Yeah.
I'm sure there's completion stuff you can do too outside of that, but we'll get more into that in a little bit. And then as for me, I guess on Stadia, I haven't had much time to play this week, but like Eddie, Mortal Kombat 11 has been the mainstay of my playlist, and then I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect as well. So that's been my outside of Stadia stuff. So
hey, I saw that you had trying to play something. Sorry.
Yeah, good segue, huh?
I had to do it
before we get there, because according to my Stadia stats, I have about an hour and 15 minutes of gameplay in that game, but we'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, so actually I'll test that, or I'll check in a minute. But Link, of course, he keeps the lights on in this house. He says he'll be easy on us today. He gave a $50 super chat, and I said, howdy to all you amazing people. Hit those likes. And then Ray followed up with a $20 super chat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Saying, hello, 2K.
Thank you, Link. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Link. Thank you, Ray.
2K. I'm going to check something in the store while we load up. But just a quick side note. We all have our own channels and whatnot. And Chase, you're a new creator in this community, right? So why don't you talk about this little Twitch channel you just started?
Who's this rando that we let in?
Yeah, exactly.
What's this little Twitch? Hey, breaking news. PJ is back up in the store.
Oh, it is. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So while you tell that, I will check it and see if it actually works this time. Go ahead. Tell people what.
I live streamed on Twitch today. So
What?
Yeah, you did.
So if you're interested in getting some content occasionally, maybe twitch.tv/Stadia Talk.
It's exciting stuff.
Can I add? I want to add to that. I know I'm still in the spotlight. Now, Chase, don't be hesitant about that. My bro is back to making content. We are going to kidnap him and force him to make content every 5 minutes. That's what the people want, and that's what the people are going to get, and that's just what it is. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chase.
That's it. I guess I'm going to be kidnapped and thrown into.
They have spoken.
Record. Yep.
Good news, folks.
Something up here. Oh, the game is loading.
Yeah.
The game has officially loaded. I have never seen this in my entire life. The game has officially. This is as far as I can go, so I'm not gonna start streaming it right now. But yeah, so good news. Actually, this is the end of the podcast. I'm gonna go stream this right now. But,
bye, guys.
Great episode.
As cool as it is to finally see that working, it is not it's not enough to stop us from what we're about to talk about, because this is big stuff. And again, thanks to Ray once more before we get there with another $20 super chat. Thank you. Yeah, him and Link do keep the lights on around here, so and they keep Meg's contract paid too, so it works out. And let's talk about PJ Tour 2K21. If you are new to this whole situation, I was hoping to stream this game last night because the 2K account had tweeted out a release schedule, and I can find that while I'm talking about it, of the game that was supposed to come out on every single platform yesterday. So it's a Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC through Steam, and then, of course, Stadia. And on there, we had a rolling schedule of when it will be coming out to all platforms. And there we go. Finally got it. And they posted when it'd be coming to PS4 and Switch on the left side of this tweet, which would be rolling midnight schedule, which is essentially if it's midnight in your time zone, you have availability to it. And then Xbox One, PC, Steam, and Stadia were on the right side. So with this message, we were led to believe that Stadia was going to be involved in the global release of the game. I found out about an hour or so into it that was not going to be the case, because I was sitting there for about an hour on stream waiting for this game to load up. And then once I ended the stream, I was just still up doing whatever. And then an hour and a half after I ended the stream, the 2K support Twitter page had finally tweeted out that they will be releasing this game at 9 a.m. Pacific time. They have an updated time. So then the game shows up at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And what happened after that? You load the game up, and the title screen, you didn't see it because I just showed you past that screen. The title screen would just sit there, and the icon would keep loading. So the game didn't freeze or anything. It just would be in an endless loop of loading. And this went on for, I don't know, maybe about an hour or so until it was finally acknowledged by 2K. And I don't even know if Stadia acknowledged it publicly on their own. They replied to someone's tweet about it. And then Grace from Google also commented in a thread on the Stadia official subreddit. And that was the gist of the conversation when it came to how they were communicating this issue to the community. And then it literally just went back up. So they pulled it from the store to fix what was going on. And as we were just live right here, it finally loaded up. I tested it just before we went live. It still wasn't there. So within the last 20 minutes, it's finally been fixed and uploaded. That was a lot of talking. I don't usually go that long until I let Chase talk for me. So let's unpack this for us. Chase, you were just talking about this, right? Over on your brand new channel.
I can't. Stop.
So I don't know where to unpack this. So let's start with the whole release rollout. So 2K put out this release photo. Was this an error on their part? Or was Stadia giving them wrong information? Or what's the gist of this?
I actually think the answer is very simple. Okay. And I have to kind of walk you through a timeline, because in order for the answer to be clear, sadly, I have to do this. So the game was supposed to launch at midnight per their visual aid, right? Mm-hmm. We get to 1:58 a.m. That is when 2K support tweeted out that there was a new release time, not that there was an issue with the game. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Mm-hmm. We go from 1:58 to 9 a.m. Pacific time, which, what do we all know 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is? That's the normal time, for non-midnight release games, which they have done midnight releases. Doom Eternal is one that they do for games. Now, let me just throw all this together, Brian, on this. This game didn't have issues last night. It did not. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, and MM did a really good job talking about this, but I want to paint a picture about the SLA stuff. SLAs are generally in the gaming industry congruent, meaning that there's no difference in what the SLA. Yes, go ahead.
What would an SLA be, just for? So
that's the service level agreement. So basically, that's the tech component of doing IT support or tech support of a game or whatever. What did you do with the publisher? So you don't see those different, because then one competitor has the edge on the other, right? So if Xbox gets an hour and PlayStation has 2, well, that's not going to work. They're not going to allow that to happen. You tend to see congruent SLAs across the board. Reason I'm bringing that up is last night between the hours of 12 to 2, 2K was responding to Switch issues and PlayStation issues, but not to Stadia. So you can't say that this is an SLA issue, because if that's the case, then they would have been held to the same standard for those other SLAs with Switch and with PlayStation. Mm-hmm. So I don't think this is at all an issue of the game. Fast forward from there, when they said that it was going to be at 9 a.m., they launched the game on the Stadia store, and if it had issues and it was broken, why do you launch it on the store? That doesn't make sense. Yep. So I think the evidence that's before us is it's a communication breakdown. I hate to say it. I don't know who's at fault. I'm not trying to blame one way or the other here. I think primarily, to be fair, most of the blame is on 2K here, right? But as far as Eddie, by the way, I love the haircut. But right? as far as on the Stadia side of it, look, we've seen other platform holders and we've seen other publishers come out and do statements and congruent statements at the same time, even with release windows of games. And you see currently, even with Xbox, they do support on game issues that aren't their game, where they respond to stuff.
Yep.
So I think Stadia needed to say something. I don't think it's all on them, though. So I won't want people to twist me saying that, meaning that it's Stadia's fault. I'm not saying that.
Yep.
I'm saying they had a part to play and they should have said something considering the circumstances, and that they've already had all these PR nightmares prior to now. If it was a one-off...
80-20, right, Chase?
Yeah, that's what I said, is 80-20. If this was a one-off, Brian and panel, where this had never happened before, and MM brought this up today. I'm using a lot of MM stuff because he did make some really succinct points and some good points. You don't want to get out there and start creating a precedent where now every time an issue happens, you got to say something. The problem is there's been issues prior to it's not. This is like an ongoing thing. We're running into a theme here.
Yep.
So I think that's the problem, is when you take it out of the context of this by itself, is it that big of an issue? No. Is it going to go away in 2 weeks? Yes. But is it a symptom of potentially a larger problem? Absolutely. Is it something that can continue? Absolutely not. This cannot be the way that things are handled moving forward.
Good points there. MM2K, you also did the little chat today. What were your kind of initial thoughts on all the... Because I woke up to about... if I remember right, it said 37 notifications between you and Chase and some other people talking about everything. So.
Yes, hashtag discourse. Yeah. So I'm going to paint a different picture. I am not in the mind state that this wasn't a technical issue. Here's why. First, let me address it just to be clear. And Chase did correctly define what SLAs are. Yeah. I can tell you from my personal experience, SLAs are set to the extent of the importance of the client. And even in gaming is concerned, we're seeing that even now with the whole Apple lawsuit, where Amazon was pretty much given an SLA and an expectancy of what they were going to pay that was lesser than everybody else with Apple. And we thought Apple would never budge. From personal experience, I remember I had an SLA for a client. They gave me a pager. And at any time during the day, if they called me, I had to get up out of my bed and respond to them within an hour. And that's because that was a huge client. So SLAs are designed. That's why they're called service level agreements. They're designed to the level of the importance of the client. And I think what we have to come to grips with is that when you have Stadia's player base as smaller as it is to the competitors, when you have COVID happening and the issues with development, that level that they hold Stadia to is minor. It's not fair, but it is what it is. So you may very well have a service level agreement of 2 hours with launch issues. You got to understand that different issues are parsed into different buckets. You may have a service level agreement set up where they say, hey, look, if we have a launch issue, we got 2 hours to respond for Stadia, but for Xbox or PlayStation, it's 30 minutes, and that's very fathomable. So I just wanted to counter that point. But I believe it was a tech issue. I believe it was a tech issue because even though they may have been responding to Switch or whatever platform, they were able to launch the software there. They were just responding to issues after launch. Here, they weren't even able to launch. So very may well likely have been, hey, look, we're trying to flip this. We don't know what it takes to launch a game on Stadia. Okay, right. So I just want to be sure that we understand that we can't use precedent from other platforms to try to explain what happens here. Should Stadia maybe do some other things, even though launching a game on their platform is possibly different? Yeah, it maybe so. But we can't swipe with a broad brush, in my opinion, what happens on Xbox opposed to Stadia. So it very well could have been, hey, this is the first midnight launch, I believe, except for Doom. And it may not even happen with Doom. But this is the first midnight launch. This is something new we're going to try. We're going to try it with 2K. Woo! And it's not working. And then that service level agreement could have been 2 hours. So at an hour and 58 minutes, they just said, you know what? We can't get this thing rolling. And Stadia didn't say anything because normally when you have launch issues, you don't see the platform holder jump into launch issues. I'm not just talking about general issues after a launch. I'm talking about launch issues. For instance, there was a launch issue with Division 1. I didn't hear anything from anybody for 3 hours and 30 minutes. None of us did. And then finally, Ubisoft said something. So I just wanted to make sure that we put everything in its appropriate bucket and not just to give the alternative set of bullet points here. With that being said, I think they had an issue for the first 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They responded. Then at 9 o'clock, they tried again. They figured, hey, okay, we're going to get it to work. They set it out there. It didn't work. And then that's when Stadia decided to respond. Me personally, I don't think that there was an issue because of the precedent. I know it sucks. I don't think there was an issue because of launch response precedent. But if we want to address launch response precedent, then that's a different story. We need to say, hey, look, when you have a launch issue, maybe 2 hours ain't cool. Maybe 3.5 hours ain't cool. Within a half an hour, the platform provider should be out there too. So that's my take on it. I wholeheartedly agree with Chase and everybody else that there are communication issues. But what I'm fearful of is if we paint everything with a broad brush, we start getting ignored because they're like, that's not a launch. That's not a communication issue. That's a launch issue with the developer and the publisher. This is something that, I'm not listening. You know what I mean? And I want the important words that we say be poignant and have meaning. So that's why I look at it through that lens.
Fair points. Before we get on to that, where to go? Project Storm also dropped a $20 super chat. He said this is for MM2K so he can get more wings.
I need him. I only got one left.
Better save it. All right, we'll get to you, Eddie, in a second. Meg, I know a couple months ago when we talked about when PJ got announced, you said you were super excited for this game. You couldn't wait to play it. So launch day comes and now you can't play it. So walk us through. I mean, what really do you probably don't care too much about PGA, obviously, but what's your thoughts on the communication side of it, I guess?
I'm sad that it was rocky. I was not following it. I wasn't aware it was launching. I didn't know. Well, I knew it was launching, but I didn't know it was going to be like a fancy midnight release, which the Doom was, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I stayed up late for Doom to watch people play it. I didn't want to play it myself, but I wanted to see it. And so if that game had similar issues, I would have been really disappointed because that's like 4 a.m. and midnight launch is like 4 a.m. for me. So I do feel really bad that the people who were excited that this happened. I have no idea why or who is like at fault. I think that these things happen. I did see a tweet that Stadia like retweeted something from the PGA Twitter account saying that they were looking into it. But as far as I know, that was like way past the issue. So I do think that some better communication is needed. But MM2K makes a really good point about sort of the size of the player base, that they are just going to be slower getting around to Stadia concerns because we're just so tiny in terms of how many people are playing compared to the other platforms, right? That, if you have, hundreds of thousands of people who are having issues on the one hand versus, a few thousand on the other, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. And I think that is just part of we're like, in my mind, we're all kind of founders. Anybody playing on Stadia right now, we're early adopters of technology, and it's going to be rocky, unfortunately. That being said, I don't think that we should make excuses and say, oh, well, Stadia is early, so these things will happen, which I realize is what I just said. Like, it's unfortunate, but it's going to happen, I guess. But it is really disappointing because especially when people want to play games and we want to feel like Stadia is launching at the same time as everybody else and working, so it's really disappointing that it happened. But I guess that it is working now, but it's like so late for it to be working. So really unfortunate all around.
Yeah. How about you, Eddie? What are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I want to start adding to Meg's point.
Okay.
To the grand scheme of things, if we stop to think, to the grand scheme of 2024 Stadia, yes, it's a small hiccup with not so big significance. Like, we still have larger titles to come, titles of more importance.
Yeah.
But it's not because the game is not that important for me. Doesn't mean that the game is not important for anybody. There's people who this game, it's everything they wanted because there hasn't been a decent golf game for about 5 years. So if you're stopped to think, okay, it's a first time golf game in a long time, and I'm able to play it on my phone, I'm able to play multiple devices, I'm gonna go with Stadia. Yep. And then you try to play it either on the midnight launch or earlier today. It's all right. It's Friday. You will be able to play during the weekend, but still, it's a problem of communication. I'm not talking about the launch of the title. To add a little bit to what MM's point, I myself as well working on the IT industry, so I do understand on these SLAs.
Yeah,
and the point is an SLA. This is where I disagree with MM. If it's a 2-hour SLA, it's a 2-hour to fix an issue, and not to make a comment saying we're looking at this issue.
Exactly.
You need to acknowledge the issue as soon as possible. Yep. So when you acknowledge the issue, is that the time starts counting. So if somebody goes and say to 2K in this scenario, hey, we're not able to open the game on Stadia, they need to acknowledge that as soon as they saw it, and then starts working on the SLA. But I do understand that in terms of SLA, it's like priority 0 to 5, let's say. If this case of the game that could not even launch, you cannot even open the game, it's a level 0, top priority. But I would believe that if 2K had a level 0 ticket for Stadia and a few level 2 tickets for a PlayStation and Xbox, they would look at those first before looking at the Stadia level 0, just because of the player base. That is unfortunate, but what I just wanted to be, it's more concise and clear communication, either for the publisher or in this scenario, I would love to have a shared responsibility. Yeah. The publisher saying, yeah, unfortunately, the game, we have an issue, the game on Stadia, and then Stadia retweeting that just after it, but now waiting for the next 8 or 20 hours, or not 20, but because it was a midnight issue, then they made a comment 2 hours later, and then Stadia just retweeted this, I think it was 1 or 2 p.m. on this Friday.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't right away, but yes. So,
shout out to Tortilla Boy.
Yes. Little Tortilla Boy. Hey, we said it right. Awesome. I didn't fumble over my words this time. He dropped a $5 super chat as well. We are a small community, but it's amazing that such a small community has a lot of beautiful and wonderful people. Thank you. That was very touching.
If I didn't have a wing in my mouth, I'd cry. Go ahead.
So they're pretty mild wings, huh? You're kind of chickening out. If I okay, all right. So yeah, I mean, for me, it had to do with the communication aspect. Yes, I understand launch can be rough when it comes to maybe squashing bugs and stuff like that. That I understand. But obviously, I was sitting there just waiting for some kind of word of what's going on, because I know some people are mentioning in the chat that there's platform issues for this game everywhere. So that's true. They had a lot of codes not getting sent out. So I know some people that pre-ordered, like on Green Man Gaming, which is a PC based code selling website. They didn't get their codes right away. Switch users didn't get like some of their VC right away. And Stadia just didn't get the game at all. So, I mean, the issue I'm having is that A, the game wasn't there at all, and B, that we weren't told about it. So, I mean, it's okay if the game launches at, say, like 11 a.m. Central Time, which it usually does. I'm okay with that. Just don't tell me it's going to launch 12 hours before that. That's my issue. And we waited nearly 2 hours for this to be told. That's where my problem becomes. But again, yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, a month from now, am I going to really remember this or even care about it? Probably not. But these kind of things do build up, and you start to remember those things once like a big issue comes up. So if this was Avengers, if this was Cyberpunk, this would be a much bigger story. And I know a lot of people are saying it's just a golf game. Who cares? It's a golf game. People are excited for golf. Who cares? But if this was a bigger game, I wouldn't be the only one complaining about this. I'm trying to go ahead, Chase.
I'm going to use a phrase I've used before. MM's going to start clapping. They came for the butcher, and I said nothing. They came for the barber, and I said nothing. That when they came for me, there was no one left to speak for me. So just because it isn't your cup of tea, it doesn't mean that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to remember. And I also think I think the takeaway from, and please jump in if you feel like I'm mischaracterizing this, but out of the discourse that we had, not just about this issue, but there's a couple issues this week. Me and him, we always, it's always about provoking thought and getting new ideas out there. Yeah. But the takeaway, the running theme, right, was what? Transparency and communication. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, that's the takeaway here that I think Stadia needs to start looking at. Because what's the one thing that both sides agree on? That's it. It's transparency and communication. We can't deny that, so.
I just don't want, again, and I agree with that. I just don't want the transparency and communication stick whacked at everything. You know what I mean? And I'm not, and again, I'm just saying it's very important to put things in their appropriate bucket. And if we want Stadia to perform business-wise like PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo, I don't think we can hold them to a higher precedent to Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. Mm-hmm. I can't find precedent where Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo within 2 hours of a launch issue responded. With the issue with what happened today at 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. Eastern, where they tried to play the game and it just kept at the loading screen. Yes, I saw that. And I get to where Xbox immediately, hey, yeah, Division 2 is going through an upgrade. So yeah, and they'll retweet it or whatever. Yep. But I have never seen, and if someone can find a link, send it to me. I've never seen Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo within 2 hours say, okay, there's a launch issue with this title. Now we're going to go in and just say, put a placeholder here and say, we don't know what's going on, but we recognize there's an issue. I just want to make sure that we're not waving that stick and causing that precedent, because once Stadia does that precedent, regardless if everybody else isn't doing it, they're now going to continue to be held to that precedent.
Well, let me add something to that. There's been a couple games actually where that's happened. And there's one that comes right off the bat because I played it and I remember it happening, was MAG. When MAG launched on the PlayStation, it had tons of issues day one. And Sony was consistently putting out communication in conjunction with Zipper when that game launched. So I really do remember that one in particular. Now, you may have to go back to the Wayback Machine or whatever it's called to find the receipts. Mm-hmm. But I remember that actually happened. Yeah. But here's the thing, in regards to this, just real quick, is what Eddie talked about with the SLAs is what I was trying to hit at, is that there's no stipulation that says they can't respond to say we're looking into it. And moreover, when you're talking about an Apple to Epic comparison, you're talking about the actual platform giving the service to Epic, not the other way around, not the publisher to the platform. Those SLAs tend to be pretty consistent across platforms because you don't want one to have more of a foothold than the other. And again, there's some precedent out there in articles and other things. But I think the big thing here that I would say is, if this was a Microsoft or a Sony that already has the traction, I agree with you 110%. You don't want to set the precedent that every time there's an issue, you have to come out and defend it. 100% agree with you. I think what's happened though, is they're at a point where they have to, because the perception out beyond behind our walls that we're in, this nice house that we're in, it ain't great. And this is going to be looked at by people, again, not this game in particular, but let's say, like Brian said, with Cyberpunk.
James, let me add to that.
Yeah.
Because not only the issue of, the launch of the game not launching or the game not being able to load, but once you remove the game from the store, a game that was already published, Stadia needs to state something because the game has been published.
And that was a technical issue after launch, and Stadia immediately, even while I was live on air, they immediately responded. That's the precedent that's been set by the other platform holders, and they did go toe and toe with that precedent. I'm just talking about as far as a launch is concerned. I haven't seen it. And with MAG was a second party title, so Sony funded that title. So they were working hand in hand with Zipper to create that. So they had a little bit more insight. And the reason why I say that is because Stadia very well didn't know what the hell was going on at 2K. You know, it's like what Eddie said before. They could have put a service ticket in or called somebody and said, hey, somebody please let us know, why isn't this thing here? And they said, okay, we're going to get to you. And there's no information. And then they're going off the service level agreement, which but mind you, a service level agreement can be anything. It's just an agreement between two entities that says, hey, we expect you to do this, and this will be the recourse if it doesn't happen. So that's just the point that I'm trying to drive home. But I get what you guys are saying.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'm just saying, though, precedent in the gaming landscape, for the most part, is that those have been pretty congruent. There are some unique examples like what you talked about with Apple, because Apple is the platform versus the other way around. It's not the publisher servicing the platform. It's the platform servicing the publisher. So those tend to be a little bit different. Same example would be like call center tech, right? You can see that if you pay for a certain tier, you'd get faster service than something else. So I was just trying to throw the example in there, but I think they're at a point here that this can't be the trend going forward. Like they got to figure out a way to where they can communicate with publishers, and until they get to a panel where it seems like communication's a little bit better, I think they almost kind of have to. I really do. I'm just telling you my marketing sense and my business sense off of this.
Who we got in the chat with us now? It's Germani. What's going on, man?
Hey.
What's up, guys? I was thinking the show is about to wrap, but we're 40 minutes deep into the first topic. Good Lord.
So this entire episode doesn't get taken over by this one topic. Do you have any quick thoughts on the 2K PJ situation?
So I've got just a tidbit on it. It's okay. Give me just a little bit on it real quick, you guys, because all I've seen, I'll tell you what I've seen is that it's been having some troubles as far as technicalities. Other than that, I don't know what else has been going on.
Okay, so quick rundown. Yesterday they released a graphic showing that the game would launch at 12 Eastern, so midnight. Did not show up. About 2.5 hours or 2 hours went by, and that's when 2K finally said that we got an updated time for Stadia's release. It's going to be at 9 a.m. Pacific. It came around. Game was purchasable right when they said it would. Once you load the game up, you would be stuck at the title screen.
Oh.
Then they removed the game from the store, and it just went up about 10 minutes after we went live. So
no.
that's where we're at. But
yeah, that's terrible. That's not okay. That needs to be fixed immediately. That's just a bad look for the whole platform and the idea of even getting into a cloud gaming space. There's already the argument of I want to own my games, even though we went through that already, but it just doesn't look good at all, especially from a big publisher like 2K Games. That really bodes horribly for the platform. Yeah.
All right. Like I said, I didn't think I didn't even realize it was 40 minutes in either.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, I know we're deep in the game, but I saw Chase over there sweating, man. He was sweating. He was in, you know what I'm saying? So,
hey, this is what everybody showed up to see. By the way, just to say to the chat, me and MM, we're still friends, y'all.
I got to watch this back.
Nobody's that. Hey, look, it was more quote unquote ferocious on Twitter than it was.
Okay.
And even then,
it's broken up in Civil War.
Even then, it's discourse.
Yeah, but then we hugged. Like those two kids walking down the street, we hugged and held hands and walked and continued down.
For you.
I want to add something to that. So again, I want to repeat, and I said this before the show. I get it. We're passionate about this stuff, and there's different sides of the fence. And the reason why me and Chase are engaging is, two, we want Google to see this because we want them to have a good gauge of where the community is at. But two, I hate to say this because we should be adults here and we should be better at this. We're trying to show the community how to have reasonable discourse. And
Absolutely.
I do want to say this to the parties that are guilty. I'm not going to name any names, but we've had to address this before when me and Chase has had differences of opinions. This ain't nothing new.
Right.
Look, shutting people's opinions up is never the way to go. Okay. That's a self-preserving ideologue to run with. And I wish people would stop it. So again, because you guys can agree with me, but if 98% of the population agrees with Chase, who cares if I'm right? Google has to balance the expectations. So it's important that everybody hears everything. And if you don't want to hear everything, just tune out, period.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was that? Anything final on the 2K stuff? Yeah, we got plenty of stuff to talk about. We got some very positive things to talk about. Mega's waving her invisible drink over there, like
All I saw was a straw. I was like, "What's going on?"
Drank the monster emblem.
Only green drinks
That's
for
all you
me.
can see is the monster symbol.
Oh
And a
God,
straw.
it cracks me
we
up.
got Susan Storm instead of Black Widow down there. I mean, got invisible stuff going on. But so let's move on to some positive stuff. But before we do that, actually, this is also positive. I don't know why I said that. Phoenix dropped a toonie in the super
Phoenix.
chat.
Oh, yes.
That's a
Yeah,
toonie.
toonie.
Thank you.
Thanks for the toonie.
Loonies and toonies.
Yeah,
Okay.
going loony with the toonies.
All right. So there's this new game from some independent developer called Baldur's Gate 3. Am I reading that right?
Baldur's
Uh,
Gate.
So I don't know. It's been
Oh, that's an
dated-
indie game. We can move on from that indie game.
Yeah,
man.
So Baldur's Gate 3 has gotten its official early access date announced. It was initially slated for August, maybe. And I like that they put maybe in there because they weren't gonna go ahead and settle on that date. They wanted to have that little cushion for a possibility of this exact thing happening.
Mhm.
So the very end of September, that's a Wednesday. That's a weird date, by the way. So that'll be when it's live on Steam and Stadia only. It's not going to be on any other platform at all because the scope of the game is just far too great at the moment for current gen. Not to say that next gen won't be able to play these games, but September 30th, early access. Chase, we'll start with you since you love Baldur's Gate so much, I guess. What are your thoughts? Got a date.
Remember when we talked about this a while back, and I said we were going to go to hell?
Mhm.
I called it. I told you it was
Yeah.
happening. I told you it was happening. I told you that's exactly where this game was headed. If you played the second Baldur's Gate game, you saw it coming. That this was the setup all along. So I'm excited. I saw Eddie stream. MM was losing his. You know what? He was excited. Everybody was excited. Listen, this game is going to be a Game of the Year candidate in 2021. Mark my words, it will be in the conversation. Will it win? I don't know. I don't know if that'll
Did you just say
happen or
Game of the Year in 2020?
2021.
Oh, okay. I was like,
This game launches.
like,
this
hold
game
on.
launches.
That damn good.
That good, huh?
It takes both years. No, so it's gonna launch next year is my bet. I think they're gonna move it ahead. And 20 hours of gameplay, y'all. That's 4 freaking chapters. That's a lot. That's a lot of gameplay in an early access. So I am excited.
Yes.
I want to make a quick prediction, and I promise I'm going to be done because I'm going to go off in so many directions. This game is going to end up getting an open world element. It will happen, folks. It's going to get an open world element like ESO. It will happen at some point, and when it does, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait.
So, my next question for you then is: this going to be a pro title, or are we going to have to spend money on it?
I made my prediction. I'm going to stick with it. I'm probably, after doing some additional research, I'm going to be wrong. I think it comes out on pro, but there's actually some suggestions of the deals that were done with Steam on this that I don't know that we get it included. So just be mindful of that.
Got a price range? Do you think they'll do full price right away?
No, so you'll buy in, and then once the game fully launches, you'll pay the difference. They've done this before, so that's basically what'll happen.
All right.
Oh, I thought if you bought it, then when it released, you would just get it.
So please correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I think for Divinity Original Sin 2, it was a split payment. Now, again, I might have seen something incorrect on that because I didn't buy that game at that time, and I wasn't in early access. I've only just read up on the way that they do their processing. So that's what I've understood. Now, it could be that maybe I read it wrong or someone explained it in a way that I misinterpreted, but that's the understanding that I got. So we'll see. I mean, and here's the deal. If we got it as part of Pro, then at that point, I do think you got to pay full price. If it's just early access and then once the game launches, you have to buy it outright. That would be my expectation. But
Okay. That's fair. So Meg, we'll go with you now. You're excited for this too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you played?
I
the Baldur's
wasn't
Gate?
originally, but Chase convinced me, and now I'm super hyped.
No, super hyped.
Yeah, he's pulled us all into hell. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it happened.
Is this a franchise you played before?
No, I haven't. Never. But I'm really excited for this one. There's a lot of aspects of this game that other MMOs that I've played, or RPGs, I guess, I felt were lacking. So I'm really excited for this one. I didn't see all of the event, but I did see part of it. Mm-hmm. And somebody in chat said they were like, September 30th, we think. Like he was like, like he was still kind of like, kind of almost setting us up for if there was a delay, he could be like, well, I said I thought so. Yeah. So I am really hoping that it is September 30th, because that doesn't seem that long to have to wait, and I feel like we've been waiting for so long. But I'm really excited to try it. I was so happy that Stadia is going to be part of the early access. I think that's so cool that we're being included. And there were just like some little things, like I freaked out because they were like, yeah, like your cat pet can like go and distract people so that you can sneak around. And like there's so many cool like little things like that I feel like they're paying attention to in this game that I think it's going to be really, really fun. And I love that Chase's prediction that it's going to have like an open world aspect to it at some point. That would be so fun, because it is a next gen game. Like right now I'm really into Elder Scrolls, but that game originally came out in like, what was it, like 2014 or something? Yeah. So it's going to be fun to have this whole new experience we can really sink our teeth into. And September 30th is so close. Like we're already coming into the end of August now. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking this game out. Oh, Eddie, you okay?
Got excited.
So kind of going to the whole next gen idea that Meg was just talking about. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this was done by Polygon. This kind of comparing early access for Divinity Sin 2 versus Baldur's Gate. Here's what you get. Number of combat encounters, 22 in DOS versus 80 in Baldur's Gate. Number of English dialogue lines, 17,000 versus 45,000. Actually, it's almost 46. Number of characters, 142 versus 596. And the number of spells is 69 versus 146, plus the 20 hours of content that you get right off the bat.
I was good with the 69.
Nice. That's a big scale for such a, I mean, it's an early access title. Yeah. Essentially. So, I mean,
Brian, if you allow me, I found something here as well regarding original Divinity 2. Mm-hmm. When it launched, the early access was $45, and the early access give you access to the full game.
There you go.
They do give you a discount.
Game for $45.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I mean, don't expect to get it for free. I mean, that's not the right expectation to set, obviously, but
game,
yeah. I mean, 20 hours, that beats a lot of games, full games. Like, yeah. I think Tomb Raider can be finished in under like 15, and so many other games can be too. So, Eddie, Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I finished it up The Last of Us in 26 hours. So yeah, there you go as an example. Baldur's Gate 3, it's amazing. The pet brain, I guess I want to have a pet brain. Not a pet yet, not a pet. Maybe an owlbear pet, but probably a pet brain. It's cooler. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. The panel from hell was something. Like at the end of the panel from hell, looks like the host got possessed by a demon.
What?
I don't know if you guys saw that.
Chase rolling over there.
the host from the panel from hell camera froze and froze on an awkward position. But anyway, Baldur's Gate, it's amazing. Everything.
Hold on. You're talking about Jeff Keighley, right?
Yes.
All right.
Let me pull that.
All right. While you look that up, Germani, you excited for Baldur's Gate 3?
Yes, I am. I've heard a lot about the Baldur's Gate franchise, and even the what was it? Divinity. What was the other one called?
Yeah, Divinity Original Sin 2.
Original Sins, right. I've seen, I know, Chase, you mentioned it as a port on the Switch, and I remember seeing that and how passionate the community was behind it and how much work they did to make that port really well. So I was like, okay, this is a really good company. but I wasn't sure if I would be into it. And after seeing Chase's, passion behind the game and just watching a bit of it, I'm like, you know what? I definitely want to give this game a try, man. It looks like a massive game, something I can get stuck in for just months and months and months. So, yeah, I definitely want to try it out.
MM2K.
Yeah, as long as Jeff Keighley's picture isn't on a wrapper,
Oh my God.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
So this is from our friend Brian Chappelle. He said, I didn't know what to expect from Panel from Hell, but Jeff Keighley's getting possessed by a demon at the end of the stream was absolutely insane. So he had this frozen camera frame for about 3-4 minutes.
Oh no.
And the people from Larian, they loved it. They were cracking up. They're like, yeah, this freaking doofus. Yeah, that's symbolic of his whole participation in this thing. Yeah.
His awkward pauses too were so bad.
Yeah. So you can make a spider. Where does it crawl to again? Man, shut the hell up. Bring this camera. Yeah, but besides Jeff screaming, it was a great showcase, man. We were so excited, and then just the dialogue options, the brain talking to you, just everything behind it, and then the scope. I think the scope spoke more than anything. I mean, the fact that you can make your little pet spider, and they said, "What, Eddie? The spider can travel from one end of the map to the other and listen into NPC conversations all over the world." It's like that's nuts, and then that symbolizes why it's on a cloud infrastructure, NPC, and not current console. So for those that have doubts on what current consoles can do,
don't forget we can talk to the dead.
Yeah, and we can talk to you can talk to corpses.
Only possible on the cloud.
That's what they were showing you with Jeff.
What are you trying to say there?
So,
Chase, I wasn't going there, but that was good.
okay, well, speaking of the cloud, you guys are all forgetting one and very important detail about this game.
That went over my head for a second. That was good.
What's it, Brian?
Said you guys are all forgetting one very important detail about this game.
What is it?
Crowd choice.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
They didn't show it.
Well, according to never mind.
Don't do it. Don't do it. There was an article.
I'm gonna go ahead and invite you to say this. Go ahead, Eddie. just mute swear words.
5 seconds. So there was an article from a lady from Gizmodo where she said it's the first time that we're gonna get a game on Stadia day and date with all this stuff. Yeah. And she also said that during the panel from Hell, we were able to see crowd choice in action.
Yep.
Which we didn't.
Oh, wow.
And which, again, it's not the first title to be day and date, because we had Doom, for example, as day and date.
But
she also put in a missing ad for her bong, apparently, too. So.
Jeez. All right, moving on. So crowd choice, if you're unfamiliar with, by the way, it's a little thing that you can add if you're streaming on YouTube, which will allow your audience to pick what you do in games like this. So it's gonna be an awesome feature.
So cool.
It'll appear before that though with Dead by Daylight. So, but let's talk about some new stuff. Unless you guys have anything else you want to share about Baldur's Gate 3. Yes.
I did have one thing to add. Dominic made a good point in the chat about that he thought that Baldur's Gate 2 had an open world element. I had to go back and look because it's been such a long time since I played that game. It does have one component to it where it's a little bit more expansive, but it's all primarily campaign driven. So I think this one's going to be, initially it will be a campaign with more choices, I guess is the right way for me to say it. It'll be expansive. But when I say open world, I mean, there's not necessarily, you're not doing something where it's limited to, you know what I'm trying to say? Like there's a character tree, or not a character tree. There's a progression tree that you have to go through with millions of choices. Yeah. It'll be kind of like ESO, where you can go anywhere and everything can change with how that tree actually moves. So that's what I mean by that.
All right. So moving on, we got some new games this week. This was a very busy week for new games. So let's talk about them. Doom 2016 has finally showed up to the platform. $19.99. Same price as other platforms, by the way, in case, someone's keeping
Right.
track.
Yeah, throw that in the face,
Yeah.
you know.
So, did anyone pick up Doom? Yeah.
I hadn't picked it up.
Yeah, I still got to.
Oh, you got it? You got it, Chase? Oh, word. Yeah.
Have you been able to play it just yet?
Yeah, well, I got it because the multiplayer on there is phenomenal. If you've never played Doom 2016's multiplayer, it's great.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
I have the
Do they,
Switch
do they
copy.
have do they have the map builder in this version? Because I know they got rid of it on the Switch, right? Or they didn't pack it in with the Switch version.
Ooh, I didn't look at that, so I can't comment.
That's something I'd wanna get into is the multiplayer map building.
Were you able to find matches, Chase? Or did you not get that far yet?
So I tried to log in, and it did sit there for maybe like about a minute or two, so I kind of gave up. But that could have just been at the time that I purchased it. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody else had bought it just yet, so that might be different as of today.
Gotcha. That's fair. No one else has bought Doom yet. Is anyone planning on buying it, or just kind of waiting for another sale? Because that game typically goes on some pretty steep sales for sure.
I love Doom Eternal. For some reason, I just couldn't get into Doom 2016. And maybe that's me, but I may pick it up in the future.
There you go. Yeah, it's going to be probably on sale for about $6 at some point in the future. So
Yeah.
I may wait for that, or I might just trade my Switch copy in because it actually is the trading credit's even higher than what it costs in Stadia. So maybe I'll do that.
Nice.
Yeah, go ahead, Germani.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I was just about to pull the trigger on it until you said the game was gonna go at a steeper sale price. I was like, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, most likely, because right now it's like $6 on PlayStation, I think. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I still have the $10 credit, so it'd be a $10 game for me. I think I might just go ahead and buy it.
That's not a bad move.
Yeah, try that.
I'd say wait still. There's gonna be probably a Doom collection of the 3 Dooms.
All the Slayer collection, that'd be good.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, there's the prediction for you. Also, that came out this week was Super Hot Mind Control Delete.
Super
Hot. All right. So, has anyone picked the new Super Hot game up, or did any of you guys? Well, none of you guys got Free Trail Pro members, but anyone pick it up just yet?
I hadn't got the Mind Control Delete yet, no.
I have a feeling we're gonna have a lot of head shakes for all these games.
Yeah. I mean, I've been just drowning in games, man. Just,
absolutely.
So much now.
Right.
A good problem,
Absolutely. So if you happen to have bought Super Hot before the 18th, I believe, you bought the game, you didn't claim it as pro, you do have the ability to get this one for free. You just have to email the Super Hot team about it. Elsewhere was Spiritfarer, which I know Meg was able to play. Meg, go a little more in depth with Spiritfarer and your very quick experiences with it.
So it's an interesting game. You sort of you take on the role of this sort of like Grim Reaper character. You have to kind of ferry these souls into the afterlife, and along the way you have to kind of take care of their needs and help them wrap up like their final business before they can kind of travel to the next realm. There's no fighting that I can see. The game is entirely just based on kind of resource management. You have to gather resources and food and cook things and build things. You build your ship. There's a map that you can sail around to get to different islands and stuff. So there's a little bit of exploration, but it's basically just like managing resources. It's Thunder Lotus game. So if you guys played like Jotun or Sundered, it's the same kind of art style, the same kind of feel. It's nice. It's really nice. It's very, very calming and relaxing. Like if you just want to chill out and just, play through an interesting story and meet some like different types of characters and stuff, then it's a really nice game.
Meg, can you make any comparison with Lost Words?
It's very different than Lost Words. I thought because they do both deal with the topics kind of like death, sort of. I actually thought they would be more similar. But Lost Words is like very narrative driven. It's very linear, and it's like solving puzzles and that sort of thing. Whereas you have a little bit more free choice of what you're going to do in Spiritfarer, and there's no puzzles or anything. It's just there's some like mini games, but they're not like you can't lose. It's just like, oh, you collected this much of whatever resource, or so it's very different than Lost Words.
So Eddie, you haven't picked this up yet, right?
Yeah, no, I just picked it up. I'm gonna be playing tomorrow.
Okay. How about you, Jermaine? Have you been able to jump into it? I know we kind of talking about having a huge backlog at this point, but
yeah, no, I hadn't.
Is it a game that interests you at all?
Honestly, no, it's not a game that looks like it's just yeah. No, I mean, it's not to say it's bad. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a bad game, but yeah,
different strokes for different folks. I mean,
there you go.
Me and Meg love PGA, so I mean, she's gonna be playing a little bit later tonight. So. So Chase, how about Spirit Fair? Is that a game that's on your radar?
So here's where the dilemma is for me. So I had this game.
Just say no, Chase.
Hell no.
I'm trying to be honest.
You think I'm gonna this game?
I swear to God.
I'm sorry.
It was either Spirit Fair or I was thinking about, am I going to pick up Windbound? And there was no question. It's Windbound. So yeah, Spirit Fair is not happening.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
I can't wait for Windbound.
That would be what
Friday.
I'd be interested in. Yeah,
I know it's coming right up.
Jeez.
What's up with these Friday release dates? Is this normal in summer?
I think no, I don't. Maybe that has happened in the past with gaming, but maybe it's more so just because of COVID. You know, they're choosing to go later in the week, so they've got more of a lead time to make sure everything's good to go. Because think about it, you come back from a weekend and then you drop a game on a Tuesday. That only gives you a day to prep. So that's probably what it is.
I did agree, Chase. I remember some titles launching on Friday, so people already go and play during the weekend. And like in 2 Fridays, we will have Avengers as well.
That's fair. I was thinking back to like physical releases. Like Thursday nights, there was many games, and Tuesday nights there were also games. So I just was thinking about that. That's all.
How about you, MM2K? Is Spirit Fair one of your must-play titles of 2020?
Oh yeah, I got it at the midnight launch. Hell no, nah. I'm with Meg on this one. I'm waiting for Windbound.
There you go. I'll be playing at some point this weekend, probably doing a first look at it. So next up on the item list for new games would be, let's not talk about PGA again. Rock of Ages 3 came out last Friday as a part of Stadia Pro. Has anyone played Rock of Ages 3 just yet?
Not yet.
Actually, I have.
Germano, lead us away.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's goofier than I thought it would be. I didn't really watch a lot of videos on it or trailers or anything. I just jumped into it and I actually played it on the phone. I tend to do that quite a bit. I try to see how these games will play on the phone with when I say the phone, I mean like touch screen. And I was just relaxing in the bed. It launched. I was like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and click it and try it out. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely a casual game, but I think it's a lot of fun. Like I said, the art style is hilarious. The the characters and everything, the presentation is really goofy. So if you're looking for something really goofy, not take too serious, but has some really interesting physics, yeah, I would try it out.
There you go. Anyone else play Rocket of Ages just yet?
Tried for 5 minutes during a multiplayer live stream. Couldn't make it. Bye. Let's go MK11.
So it's like everything just went in my head, and because I did pretty much the same thing. Like I started doing this little boulder thing, and I was like, this is. First of all, I knew the game was just not my thing, and then I started playing. I was like, yeah, I was right. So unfortunately, that game did not last very long in my my web browser. But I was literally recording a first look. I was like, I can't even fake this anymore. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say it's a bad game for people. Hold on. It's not my style of game. I'm not into it. Okay,
I thought you were going to say you found a way in the Stadia app to unclaim the game. I was like, oh, God, don't say that.
No.
Get on support. Be like, yeah, you need to remove this now.
Yeah, he's like, if I could, I would.
Well, there are people who like the stacks on stacks.
It's an interesting puzzle game. There's nothing wrong with it. Trying to say something, Eddie.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye. All right, that was easy. All right, so I believe that's all the new games that we've played. Hold on a second. All right, now it's time for some rumored new games. What was this? Last week, I think we got a rumor that from an account over Rockstar or covering Rockstar stuff Was this in France? Does anyone know what country it came from? Was it France?
Rockstar Mag or
Right.
5, GTA 5.
So GTA 5 is being heavily rumored to come to Stadia. If anyone can find that tweet, that'd be great. But Grand Theft Auto 5 is just the game that it's like Skyrim. It just won't go away.
It is a Skyrim.
Finding its way to new platforms, new consoles. It's already been confirmed coming to the PlayStation 5 and the Series X in the form of a next-gen update, which I assume is going to see some significant improvements graphically. Of course, it's going to keep the GTA Online multiplayer alive as well. So, I mean, it's been a big money grab for Rockstar.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are excited for this one, right? I would assume.
I'll say this. I mean, I think the game is a fantastic sandbox game. You know, great fun story. The physics on the vehicles have gotten a whole lot better. You know, so it's a lot of fun to drive around in that game.
Yep.
And this is where I think it could shine really well on Stadia. The thing for me is it's just like a haven for tweens. You know what I mean? To come and harass and poke and prod and for the online. The online gameplay. And that's my biggest fear. It's like, oh, I don't want that audience in this space, But I mean, undeniably a big game, an important title. So I'm definitely excited for the platform in general.
So this is the tweet I was referring to. Thank you, Eddie. So I cannot. If you click on that, will it let you translate it? So the top one. I think if you click on it.
I think I looked at it on my browser and it gave me an option to translate. I'm pretty sure.
Well, anyway,
come on, Google.
I know Twitter.
I can do you one better. You can go to broadbandbullies.com. And
all right. If you guys like it, can translate this.
Let me see here.
All right, give me a second. I'll get a
translator. All right. We'll move on to someone else's thoughts while you do that. So Chase, GTA 5, good for the platform.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that would be disingenuous to say it wouldn't be a great game on the platform. Mm-hmm. Is it a game that I think that's the one that they should be focused on? Absolutely not. No.
When you say they, are you talking about Google or Rockstar?
Well, I mean, Rockstar, their motivation, of course, is going to be exposure anywhere. They want to get the dollars from the online element of the game. I mean, that's what it comes down to. But I think my statement is in relying to Stadia also has to play a part in the negotiation piece of that. So for me, I don't know that that's the game I'd be focusing in on. I think there's more important games to get on here, like a Roku or a Hyperscape or a Fall Guys or something else to that effect. That's in the here and the now.
No.
Eddie doesn't want Fall Guys.
All right. Okay. So here's a translated tweet. Thanks to our good friends over at broadbandbullies.com. I believe this article is written by you, right, MM?
Yes, a fine young lad by the name of MM2K.
How about you go ahead and read this translated tweet and kind of decipher what this all really means for us?
Well, the translation is, according to our information, in addition to the versions hashtag PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Rockstar is reportedly in the process of preparing a Stadia of GTA 5, whose announcement and release would be scheduled for the next few weeks, months, before or at the same time as on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, says Yoda's translation. So, yeah, according to them, to their sources, to Yoda and the Force, it's coming.
This is good, though. The PS5 and Xbox version, that's coming out, what was it, 2021? Is that what they said?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so it would be a while if it does come out. So, Meg, what are your thoughts on GTA? Is that a franchise you're a fan of?
I never played it really. I think I had it on like the PlayStation 3. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This game actually was
been
on
out forever.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I did. I got it on a crazy good sale, but then I never got into it because, like, one of the first times I ever played, this guy just ran circles around me and dropped me like $3 million because it's so flush with like hackers. And so then I bought this fancy apartment, but I didn't understand what I was doing. And then I never really went back to it again. But it's been one of my most requested games. Like on stream, people would be like, "You should play GTA. You should play GTA." So for that reason, I would, because when people show a lot of interest in a game, I try to respond to it. And I love Red Dead Online, like love, and it's Rockstar. So because of that, I would give it a shot. So I would play it, and I would be excited. I think it would be really, really good for Stadia to have such a popular game on it. Although nowadays, like if you want to play it, you probably can because it's available everywhere. So I don't know if it's going to necessarily drive people in flocks to Stadia, but I still think it would be good for the platform to have such a popular game on it, like Skyrim. I think it would be good for Skyrim to come too. It's on everywhere else. Sorry, I just love Skyrim.
Literally.
But yes, I would play GTA. Yeah, I would play it on Stadia for sure.
That's why I was denying Chase, saying that when he was arguing Rocco and other games, I was shaking my head because I believe for the platform, it will be more impactful to have GTA 5 than having Rocco or other games, because this game has 3 generations. It's not a, as we saw, it's a game that has been on PlayStation 3, now on PlayStation 4, it's going to be on PlayStation 5, so it's a 3-generation game that keeps continuing. The only thing is that the online version, which is the highest popular version, has a huge community on PC because of the mods and because of roleplay. So when you are playing roleplay, you usually select a server that you're gonna log in, and then you do the roleplay on the game. So that's why I think GTA 5, if coming to Stadia, it attracts attention, but without mods and role play, I really don't know.
Is it crossplay?
I
can answer that.
I
mean, nothing's been solidified. You know,
I don't think.
See, that's my only reason of saying those other games, because if the population's low still on the platform, then that's what I'm getting at. I think. Never mind. I'll wait till the VIP after show. I'll bring that up.
But Meg, when you're playing Red Dead on Stadia, you always found people online, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's reasonably it's reasonable to argue, per the information that we've seen and we've talked about on the graphic user interface. Red Dead is probably the most popular game on Stadia, paid for or not. You know, every time they got a chart, most popular, most paid, most bought for, most eaten, most stolen. It's all Red Dead is always in the top 3, always. So yeah, and you put the juggernaut GTA 5 in that mix. I mean, yeah, I think it speaks to what Chase was talking about earlier. You got to walk and chew gum. You got to get these newer games. You got to work to do that. But I do recognize it takes time. But it might be easier because there's 50 iterations of GTA. It might be easier to port that and get that over here now. I do agree that you should make it crossplay too. You got to make it crossplay, and maybe they will. And then Eddie, maybe they will have mod support, because remember, John Justice has said that Stadia is going to have mods. So maybe this is where you premiere mod support. You know, so
could be.
That'd be interesting as hell. Any last words about GTA 5?
I don't want it to be crossplay because I don't want the tweens to take over in the online play.
Shut it down.
You know, yeah, I don't want it. I don't want it. I mean, this is something that Meg has mentioned as far as the Red Dead Redemption Online, how helpful the community has been. We've seen a Reddit about how helpful the community has been. You know, how mature it has been. You know, that's something I want to see in GTA 5 Online, a mature community where you can actually get out there and actually play the game. 9 times out of 10, when you get on, you know, even on console for sure, you get out there, you try to drive, you're driving, you just got your little shark bucks or whatever, you know what I mean, your shark card, and you drive in your nice fancy car, you get a drive-by, you're shot up completely. You go into an online match to get teamed up with some people. They're not even playing the match. They're doing some nonsense, trying to prevent you from winning. It's like, what is going on? Like, can we actually play the game? Why is there a bunch of trolls, you know? And that's the thing I can't get around when it comes to GTA 5's online. It's just a lot of trolling, a lot of, nonsense. So I'd just like to see a better community. And I'm afraid, I know it'd be better for it to have crossplay, but I'm just afraid that if it does have crossplay, we won't get the opportunity to see that, you know.
Right.
I agree with that 6-4. Actually, people in the Red Dead community on Stadia, there are always people online, Eddie, but it's a small community. Like a lot of the names, you get to know people, and there's no cheaters. You get to know griefers, so you're like, oh gosh, like there's some griefers in this lobby. Like maybe I'll wait and do this later.
That's what I was trying to say. Griefers too, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like with PlayStation, so many people when I would stream Red Dead Online live, they would come in and be like, oh my God, it's such a good community over here. Like PlayStation, you can't get anything done. You just get killed repeatedly. You can't escape it. And it's like, it's so toxic. Whereas the Stadia community is so positive, you know, because we're like, we can't cheat and we're a small community. So you all have to like learn to work together. So yeah. And that was why I didn't like my brief GTA experience either, was because there was a cheater and I instantly had everything. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't even do anything, but I did have cool Galaxy leggings, which was really cool. So, you know, I don't know. I could play again.
There are cheaters going, oh, guys, right now.
Those leggings, though. My God.
Yeah, totally.
So let me ask: is there's no online, there's no mobile version of GTA, right? GTA 5, right?
No.
It's just,
Correct.
Okay, so everything that Jumani and Meg said makes so much sense, and I think that GTA 5 would be the only game that, even though Stadia has a smaller community, it would still be viable. It probably would be larger than Red Dead community. With that being said,
definitely,
you guys got to be prepared if this does come to Stadia, because the notion that you can finally play GTA 5 on your phone might bring the tweens. You know what I mean? It might do it. So,
and MM, just to add to that again, I am part of the GeForce Now community.
Yep.
And that's one thing they praise every single week. I just want to have GTA on GeForce Now.
They asked for it, yeah.
I don't have. Brian, I have one last thing that if you allow me to share. This is below the tweet.
Yeah.
And this is specifically phrased here.
Yes.
They're saying that the next gen version of this game, which is launching on Xbox and PlayStation, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, will be a next gen version on Stadia as well.
That's
I did see that.
Yeah, that would be good.
And then they go below and say Rockstar is also working to bring Red Dead Redemption to PS5 and Xbox equally.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be mad to see the game, man. I would pick it up on Stadia. It is a good game, really. It is. It really is a good sandbox experience.
I just want a GTA 6.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right. Elsewhere in the rumor mill, and the reason we're talking about this as well is because it's half rumor to come to Stadia. I don't want to get too excited about this, because this one I'm more personally excited for are a couple of Batman or DC Comics related games. So the first one is a continuation from the Arkham series, which would be called Batman Gotham Knights. This would be made by Warner Brothers Montreal, which is the studio that did the Arkham Origins game. And this is going to be a large open world game where you can kind of going with the GTA theme. You can kind of switch between the characters, kind of like you do in Grand Theft Auto. So a Batman game, a new Batman game. Does this interest any of you guys? I don't know if you guys have played the Arkham series, and Chase would be one. Chase, what do you think on this specific rumor here?
Please make it happen.
Yes. And we'll find out tomorrow, by the way. So DC Fandom is tomorrow, where they'll be announcing this game officially, as well as another one that we'll also be talking about, because it's also rumored to come to Stadia. And we may be doing a live reaction to that as well. So keep your eyes on this channel specifically for that. MM2K, are you an Arkham fan?
I kind of got wore out on the series. I'll be honest. I loved the first one. I loved it. And the subsequent, the third one, I kind of tuned out. So we'll see. We'll see. I know.
Interesting take.
Unpopular.
I mean, from someone that hates Mass Effect 2, I'm not really surprised about that.
Shots fired. Wow.
Meg, how about you? Batman fan?
Not really. I'm kind of familiar with one of the Batman games, but superheroes aren't really my thing, really, that much. So
Ironically,
I might
said
check
that
it
on
out.
this podcast specifically.
I know, right? I know. I'm sorry. But I mean, I would look at it and I would judge it as a game, but like I'm not super excited to like be Batman. But
No
if it
pun
had
intended.
features or, you know, cool points that I wanted to check out, I'd play it.
How about you, Germani?
Those leggings, though. Yeah. I mean,
Those galaxy
Mama Tron
leggings.
is in the house.
hey, Mama Tron.
Mom knows.
She knows what time it is. I enjoyed the Batman games. You know, I think they're good. I mean, I think a lot of people will like them. Not one of my favorite type of franchises or type of game. That's why, honestly, I'm excited about the Spider-Man games. But that whole auto going from enemy to enemy kind of thing, I don't know. But good game nonetheless. So I think it'd be good.
So you don't like the fighting mechanics, is what you're trying to say?
It's not bad. It's just it kind of takes you out of control. It makes you feel like you're doing more than you're actually doing. And I like to actually kind of do it, man. You know what I mean? But they're not bad games, though. They're not. They're actually really well made games. So,
How about you, Eddie?
So I was trying to find pictures here. I can't, but I did play it on PlayStation 3.
you're trying to find those tights.
Arkham Asylum and then Arkham City.
Mhm.
I did. I am a Batman fan, so I'll probably be playing that day one for sure.
Absolutely. And next was another game set in the DC universe, which is based off the Suicide Squad. Now, this game has been confirmed, title and all. This would be coming from Rocksteady, that they actually developed the 3 Arkham games that we've been pretty much talking about. So Asylum, City, and Night. This would be a co-op game, which, as far as we've heard rumor-wise, this would be a game as a service game. So think like a Destiny style thing, which would be very interesting, set in the superhero universe. You play the Suicide Squad, which is an organization that's typically on the bad side of things. So you'd be playing as the bad guys typically, and your goal is to pretty much kill the Justice League. So you'd be doing a lot of raids with the members of the Justice League. Part of this, I don't believe too much of, because it gets to a point where it starts talking about Batman's not involved at all. So I don't know. We'll find out much more about this tomorrow as well. So kind of like this game, does like a game as a service set in the DC universe interest you, Chase? Like, does this game interest you more than the Batman one we just talked about? Let's go with that question.
See, I struggle with these because I have to see what the cost, like the value is that you're paying into it and what you're getting in return.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to give you like a yes or no on it because I'd have to see more information. I think off the bat, you know what you're going to get out of the other game. It's going to be one flat price and you're getting content. So yeah, I'll go with the Batman.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think it has a lot to do with maybe you'd rather play as the heroes instead of like Harley Quinn or Deadshot?
No, I'm just not a big fan of the pay to play scheme
Gotcha.
thing. I just never been big about that. So
Fair enough. MM2K, how about you?
I wanted to bounce a question off you guys. So I heard that on IGN that they were talking about pay to play. Is that been solidified that it's going to be pay to play for this game?
It'll be solidified tomorrow, one way or the other.
Okay.
So I don't think so.
Mhm.
I think just the title has been the only confirmation.
I mean, I don't mind pay to play games. It's just that I don't know. I mean, I don't know. This is again unpopular. I'm gonna get ejectocito, but I'm not. The last game that I fawned over from the Warner Brothers Studios, opposite of the original Arkham game, was Fear. Fear is one of my favorite games of all time. So
That's a great game, great franchise.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. I just think differently about their games.
Wait a minute. Now let me get clear. I'm sorry. What's the pay to play? So I can make sure that
like the games as a service, like I guess that. Well, you know what?
Pay to win, probably, right?
Yeah, pay to win. Yeah.
Well,
pay to progress, basically.
Yeah.
So there's the pay to progress. So there's also like the what was the DC universe, right?
Yep.
It was the one where you had to actually pay to continually play online.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not a fan of that model. Like I
MMO
don't.
model. Standard
Yeah, because you've got ESO, which we've got as the base tier is free. But think of it where in order to even get on the game, you got to pay $10 a month to even play it. That's where I draw the line. It's like I'm not interested in that type of model.
There's no way.
Like, wow.
There's no way this game would do that.
Yeah, like the traditional. Okay.
I hope not, but when they say that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, you just never know.
You never
Okay,
get.
I just wanted to get the angle on it. Where you're coming from on that one? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So does this style of game interest you, Germani?
No, I'm not really interested in the old MMO models these days. I don't have that kind of dedication to several games. Back in the day, man, yeah, but no.
Meg, does this kind of game interest you more than the last one?
Not really.
No.
She's like, move on.
Skip. All right, lastly, you, Eddie. How about you?
Yes.
All right.
I have spoken.
All right, I guess I'm alone in this one.
Transition, definitely.
All right.
I love it.
So, since you love superhero games so much, have you had a chance to play the Marvel Avengers beta on any other platform? Meg?
No.
No. Okay.
I will watch it though, but I don't want to get the spoilers. But I still want to see it. But maybe I will watch it. We'll just have to wait and see.
Oh Lord.
Germani, how about you? Have you been able to play the beta at all? The open beta has officially started today.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll try it. I hadn't tried it yet. Since it's open, I wasn't gonna go out of my way, but I might check it out. I'll let you ask, but I did want to throw in there real quick, just as you guys were talking. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Because this is kind of a pay-to-play game. This is definitely really super, with corporate,
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to see how the game kind of unfolds properly. I mean, I'm probably gonna get it. I don't know. We're probably gonna have to wait for the reviews to get a true aspect of how this is actually gonna play out.
Just saying, there's a lot of corporate things going on there. Lots of different exclusive stuff with certain, mobile providers, and you can be a Verizon ad.
Yeah.
And all that stuff is lots.
What?
Oh yeah.
You can
Never
do
mind. Yeah.
So-
different little.
Yeah. Well, let's start with the big one. Spider-Man is an exclusive character to the Sony platform.
I was waiting for somebody to say. I was like,
Oh, did you see Meg's face? Meg was like, what?
Yeah, that was the big drop. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this game? It's kind of like they're piecemealing the heck out of this one here, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, look at the aesthetics, Jamani. Like I was telling somebody, the aesthetics even look like, you ever see those pay-to-play games where
Generic.
Yeah, generic. Yeah,
I was saying it the other day, man. People got mad at me, man. I was like,
Come on, guys. It's not generic. It's just because it's not the actors you guys are.
oh no,
the textures look good.
There's a certain level of combat that you see. There's certain
it's like
level.
calm down.
Yeah. There's a certain things you see where you're like, it looks like a generic game with our favorite superheroes, kind of.
Can I, if I may, let me to Germani's point about the pay piece.
Yes.
There's pieces to this game that we do know about are going to be pay to increase or enhance skills and things.
What?
That part has me severely worried about this.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I said this before, but I
gotta be honest.
Until we get more details on this, man, I'm concerned. Now, on the visual side of it,
yes,
I do like there's interactive pieces that are freaking amazing, by the way. Like Thor being able to charge Iron Man, awesome. Like there's different things that are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if this is the finished game or not. Like I know we say this all the time. Like you just don't know. You don't know. Is this finished?
A
Is it
lot
not?
of gameplay in there, man. For it to, that's pretty much like a slice of the game. It's not a beta. Come on.
Okay, fair enough. Look, I'm just saying.
I don't think the visuals
game
are
is launched in
bad.
2 weeks.
Oh.
By the time we're doing this podcast again, will be launch date.
It will, won't it? It will be. So we will have plenty to talk about with Avengers.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're not talking about. They said it would be posted at midnight, and it's still not in the store, which could happen. But
Can we all play together and we all be a hero?
We could, yeah.
I understand.
I mean, we have to do that,
Yeah.
right? Like, I assume I would have to buy this game.
4 players co-op.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's four maximum.
Hey, look, if it's another midnight launch that don't make it, it'll be the Thriller Manila Chase versus MM2K4.
Hey, we might be on different sides then.
Yeah,
We don't know.
Tune in to find out. Episode 11, 2 weeks from now. So Has anyone actually played it yet?
So in order to play, you have to pre-order, right?
Okay, so the answer to that question is no.
No.
I have played it.
Okay.
And I do like it. I think the gameplay is actually pretty fluid from what I've played so far. But yeah, but
Which
answer your
platform
question,
did
Eddie,
you play, Brian?
just a second. What was the question?
Which platform did you play?
PlayStation.
Okay.
So 2 weeks ago was the PlayStation 4 closed beta if you pre-ordered. So what I did is I just pre-ordered on Amazon and canceled it. And then the week after was open PS4 beta, but pre-order for the Xbox version of the game. And then this week it's open for anyone to jump in. And that will be the last beta until it launches 2 weeks from now. So it's pretty close to launch date. So as I think, Germani, you said, it's pretty much not beta. It's a slice of the game.
Yeah.
But it's cool how it transitions between heroes. So like you're playing as Thor, and then I think immediately after that you switch over to Black Widow, if I'm not mistaken. And like it just kind of like just keeps moving and moving. And like I love what with Cap, you just throw the shield, just bounces around and stuff and hits people. I think it plays pretty well. But again, I want to play a lot more of it, not just the beta, because I mean betas are just kind of, like I said, a slice of the game. I want to get more of it, more than just like an hour with it, so I can have a true opinion with it. So
okay, so how did it? You said it played well mechanically. It felt fluid. Was the combat? Did it feel rewarding? Like, because that's just what concerned me. It was like, oh man, I don't know.
So in terms of rewarding, I was playing on the second hardest difficulty, and it felt super easy. So I mean, wow. I'll bump it up to the top level later when I try it again and see if it makes it any harder. But like I had no problems getting through things. So I mean, it's just maybe there is a difficulty curve that just isn't there, or maybe I just haven't hit the hard part yet.
So what was it that made it like good to you then? I mean, because I mean that's kind of mind numbing if you're just kind of wiping through stuff. What made it like, okay, this is something I'm really, really into? What was that special element?
Well, I mean, the source material obviously is probably making my opinion a little more biased than most, but it just felt fine to me. It felt fine to me. Most of the actors you're hearing speak the voices are actually the voice actors of the animated side of things, so they are familiar with these characters. Good. It just, I don't know. It just, I don't know. It's probably a lot of bias in this, but I felt it felt good. I liked it.
That's fair.
Right. I saw a little bit on the gameplay of it. I didn't play. I saw Elena Pierce was playing. When she was playing with Thor, it reminded me a little bit of a God of War game. Yeah, the fighting mechanics. Do you have the same impression?
You mean modern God of War?
Yeah, kind of like a hack and slash is what you're kind of.
Yeah, on the hack and slash and aesthetic.
Well, I mean, you're not like with God of War. It's kind of like little combo presses too, isn't it? So like you press square, square, triangle. It does like a certain.
Right.
Okay. So as far as I know, it wasn't really that. It was like a medium attack and a heavy attack, and then like you can do a ranged attack. So with Thor, you can throw his hammer. You can also call it back, but if you don't call it back, he starts punching people, which is kind of cool. But everyone has a ranged attack. So with Cap, he throws a shield. With Black Widow, she starts shooting. Tony starts shooting his beams too. So I mean, you have all these different ways to hit people. I wouldn't say it's God of War-esque in terms of how the combat feels, but it's a lot less magnetic than like a Batman game, Germani. So you're not like constantly being like shot over to the next person. Like you kind of like have to do it yourself, kind of thing.
Okay, that's cool. That's good.
I mean, yeah, if you have a platform, PS4 or Xbox, I would just jump in, try the beta, and just use that as your like demo for it. So
I can install that on my PS4 now.
You should be able to, yeah.
Beta. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I want to play it. I want to know.
Is it available on the Switch?
Nope.
No.
PS4, Xbox One.
There's an Avengers game on there, right? No. Was it X-Men Ultimate Alliance?
It was Marvel Ultimate, yeah. Marvel 3. Yep.
And if I could add to that, wherever these big ticket games aren't available on the Switch, I think that to the communication point, I think that'll help, or at least the advertisement point. I think it's important for Stadia to drive that home. Play Marvel on the go. You know what I'm saying? Like drive that home, because that's gonna be a big game.
Yep. It is.
So there is a concerning piece about this game. I did want to throw this in here. So I was over on Ace's podcast, Cloud Gaming X, and Shadow PC at the highest tier cannot run this game.
What?
So optimization for the CPU was at 100% the entire time.
Wow.
So they've got some optimization issues that they got to work through with this game. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. If any of you are Shadow PC players, be forewarned.
Wow.
Okay. Even on Shadow, that's nuts.
That's crazy. When you can max it out completely.
Yep.
Wow.
I know people with 2080 Ti's. They said the best they could get was like 45 frames. So
What?
yep.
Well, I know. Well, a joke I saw on Twitter today was Microsoft Flight Simulator is the new Crisis. Can't run on your PC. Like, oh no. But,
Ooh, I definitely want to talk about that Flight Simulator in the VIP section a bit.
yeah, absolutely. You played it?
No, but I did have an angle on that type of game. You know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I know we were talking a lot of rumors and speculation, but this one, we've talked about this in the past. Okay. So it bears repeating because we're about to get some big information regarding it. And I think my lead up to what I'm saying is kind of hinting at what I'm talking about. I just gotta look. Screw it. We'll just talk about it. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War has been officially teased to have their first reveal on August 26th. A lot of people are asking, is this game coming to Stadia or not?
I think it's coming to Stadia right away.
You want to go ahead and expound on that? Why not?
Who?
Oh, Germani, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. You called Chase up.
Yeah, but then you started saying stuff.
Open my mouth.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Again, it's just one of those games that I think were already in development prior. You know, deals were made, ink was dried, and eventually type of thing. But you know, yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm over here trying to actually install the
Avengers.
Yes. Yes.
Multitasking at its finest.
Yes.
All right,
not-
still
we're-
I called you out next, Chase, so go ahead.
Yeah, as much as I want it to be on the platform, I think Germani's partially right on this. Development's one piece of it, but you know what? I feel like I need to hand it to you because you made the point today that I think it just needs to be hammered home with everybody. And what is that? That Stadia is not what? It's not what?
It's not a premier platform. Yep.
Just run with it, man. I'm not gonna, because I think that's the point that needs to be made in regards to it.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
Yeah.
Not only that, but we're dealing with Bobby Greedy ass Kotick. Oh shoot, I'm sorry.
No, that one's
Brian,
fine. That one's fine.
We got Bobby Greedy Kotick, the same guy. I'm going to say this again ad nauseum. The same guy that wanted to charge you for cutscenes. Yes,
Yeah.
cutscenes. I don't think we're going to see any Call of Duty game until Sekiro comes out. I still got the tinfoil hat on. I think they're going to put Sekiro on there, see what happens. And that's pretty much his olive branch to the community. Buy a whole bunch of Sekiros, and you're going to, now me, Chase, and Eddie, and a bunch of us, we've all talked, I think the entire panel talked about how we don't like that precedent. And I get the mind state on that, but I'm just saying we're dealing with greedy Bobby Kotick, and that's probably what he's doing. We're gonna test if it's worth putting anything extra early on Stadia by dropping Sekiro and see what the response is with that. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
So, I mean, let's assume Sekiro does really well.
Mm-hmm.
Are you assuming that the next Call of Duty will show up, or they'll start porting this over?
They'll probably start porting the older one over.
So they would port Cold War over is what you're...
Yeah, but the next one wouldn't be it wouldn't be one of those scenarios. It would be, okay, we'll put the old one on first and see how it works out.
Okay, fair enough. How about you, Meg? Do you agree with MM's take, or do you think that this has a good shot at showing up?
No, I agree with MM. I would be really surprised if it came over to Stadia like instantly.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't like heard a lot about it, I guess is why. And aren't there some other Call of Duty games I feel like would be, if they were going to come onto to Stadia, they would before this.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. But I doubt we'll see it. But I like Call of Duty. I like Black Ops. I played a lot of Black Ops 3.
Yeah, the Black Ops series has definitely been a fun one for me, at least. The very first one. I love Gun Game. I don't know if you guys do, but
Black
Gun
Ops 2 is the second best Call of Duty behind the original Modern Warfare, in my opinion.
Okay. Germani, we already did you, didn't we?
Yeah.
You start off first. Eddie, I'm just going down the little list here. Eddie, go ahead.
This one, I don't think it's going to come to Stadia. I disagree with MM, which is on the let's see how Sekiro does.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a matter of prioritization. And this game has already been in development before. So I believe after this iteration, the next iteration, they will probably be considering Stadia from the get-go, but not right now. And yes, Google had paid big bucks, I would believe, to have Call of Duty as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, if I was running Stadia, like that would probably be my first calls to Activision and be like, all right, we're starting this new platform. Well, how do we get this game on here? Like, I would make that a huge priority. That being said, I pretty much agree with all of you. I don't think this shows up this year. I think we still have to wait another year before your Call of Duty game shows up at all. I don't think we'll see a Warzone. I don't think we'll see a remaster. I think we would see whatever next year's Call of Duty ends up being. So,
let's recap quickly here the top 3 battle royales at the moment: Fortnite, Warzone.
You're gonna say Fall Guys, aren't you?
Fall Guys.
Technically, it's a battle royale.
Actually, it is top 3.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Throw it in there, man. He wants it in there.
Top 3 battle royales. We know Fortnite's not coming. At least for a while. We know right now Fall Guys is not coming, at least for a while. It probably will come to Switch first. And Warzone should not be coming as well. We don't have any news to share about those free-to-play battle royales coming to Stadia.
Yeah.
So I feel like they will probably bring a free-to-play battle royale before bringing a big Call of Duty.
You know what's interesting too is somebody's gonna have to go back and find this. It just jumped into my head real quick. They said something last year, and I don't remember who it was, but they said we would hear more about free to play at some point in 2020.
Did they?
Yes, they did. It just literally sparked into my head. It was during it was either during E3, it was either Phil Harrison or it was John Justice at Gamescom. One of the two of them said something about it. I don't remember which one it was. You'll have to go back and look at the tape, but somebody did.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. Well, it's also one of the store options is in the code, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's free to play. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why it shouldn't ever come. It's just we don't technically have one yet.
I just meant in general, though. That's something that was supposed to be a deliverable. We still don't know anything on that yet, other than Destiny, right? So,
all right. Anything else before we wrap the audio portion of this thing up? Anything else you guys would like to share? No? All right. I think it's time to tell everyone where we can find us. Let's start with this new creator over here next to me. Chase, am I saying that right? Your name's Chase? Chase, where can people find you on Twitter, MySpace?
I can't believe you said MySpace. My goodness. Now what a throwback. So you can find me on Twitter at Phantom TWOSTSI. There will be a YouTube channel that hasn't been solidified yet, so just keep an eye out. I'm just going to have that in the background. But there is a Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/Stadia Talk. So that's pretty simple.
There you go. MM2K.
You can find me training in the mountains for Chase versus MM2K4. Oh man, all I need is Eddie's up Mohawk. I'm gonna get you, sucker.
God damn.
Yeah, you're gonna catch me Stadia Dosage. Yeah, we got Storm and we got the homie Eddie now, full-time panel members on SSC Podcast. So we're chopping it up there. So congratulations to them having to deal with me. I hope they got their aspirin. And you can catch me on twitch.tv/MightyMost2000 streaming games.
Oh yeah. How about you, Meg? Where can people find you?
YouTube.com/MegatronX. And my Twitter is Meg_Atron_X.
Germani.
You could find me at Twitter, on Twitter at LXIV Gold and YouTube.com/LXIV Gold. Tomorrow, 12 p.m. Multiplayer Mayhem. I think everybody chose, what is it? Orcs Must Die 3. Yeah, Orcs Must Die 3. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And Eddie.
I am available every day or the other day at
Open for business 24/7
/EddiePlayer1 and the same thing, youtube.com/EddiePlayer1.
Awesome stuff. All right, folks. That is where we're going to wrap things up. I do appreciate you guys stopping by, listening to us on your favorite podcast platforms, or watching us live on YouTube every 2 weeks on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time, right here at youtube.com/Club Stadia. This is where we're going to wrap it up. If you're here in the chat, stick around. We have a VIP after show exclusively for our YouTube watchers, listeners, viewers, whatever you want to call them. But until next time, we want to thank you guys for your support. Stay safe, and we'll catch you down the road. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
All right, we're on the other side of the music that's not there at all. So how are you guys doing today?
Brian,
Yes, go ahead.
I look at the list here of games of genre.
Mhm.
So this is the list I got. The list number. Oh, come on. This thing doesn't zoom in. Let me just view, zoom. And
Welcome to the Google Sheets tutorial by Eddie Player One.
So, action games, arcade, board, casual.
All right, so what Eddie's showing you here real quick is in the Stadia.com like URLs, you can change the store listings, and this is what he's showing you. So you could change the listing to like 1001, and this is what will pop up. So I'll show you this too as well.
Do you want me to give an example?
Yeah, let's do it.
So
I don't have to do it. You can go ahead and do it.
Let me just open Stadia. I'm gonna go to store, and I'm gonna get, for example, Stadia Pro Deals. The list number, it's 45. Now, if I go here and change, let's say 1030, the list number, it's dating simulations games.
Holy cow.
Yes, finally.
I don't know what that is.
Just kidding.
Yes.
Yes, you do. All right,
But actually, I don't have idea what kind of game would be there.
I was
But,
like-
just type that in game.
There's games that are like The Sims, but it's like
Yeah.
just romance, quote
Yes, yeah,
unquote
just
romance.
So yeah, I highlighted because I never.
You highlighted the ones you're
don't
most
have
interested in.
I also don't have an idea what game could be on flight simulations on Stadia, which is at
Maybe
least
they're just for upcoming.
1034. So
Interesting.
great indies we love, MMORPG, MOBA games. We don't have any MOBA game on Stadia. Point and click adventure, puzzle games, RTS, survival games, visual novel. And here's the deal. If we finish looking at the list, there's no free-to-play lists.
Mm.
There are cross-play, there are cross-save, like 10,
Yeah.
7.
I thought Jim had found one that was for that, right?
I need to...
No, he didn't find an actual tab. What he found is that their verbiage around the verbiage was peculiar, but it hinted to free-to-play games coming. So the way they consider free-to-play games, it's not free. They don't call it free-to-play because it looks like in order for you to access a free-to-play, you got to have Stadia Pro. So I guess they don't consider it free-to-play. It was something weird, but you got to watch the video. He breaks it down a lot more elegantly than I ever could.
Yeah, I thought he had found one of the lists though that had that language on it. I swear to God, I'd seen it.
Oh, we lost Brian.
No,
Yeah,
he said
yeah.
he'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
He'll be back.
Okay. So this is a few of the lists I could find,
Mhm.
and there's the weird part. I have never seen any free to play here, but there are some interesting stuff on the list as well, like strategy games, party games. We already have a few games, so looking forward to see if what will make this list.
Awesome.
Some cool stuff right there.
I hope at least the search functionality make the list.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Now, can we talk about one of the huge topics of the after show, Chase?
Yeah. Chase.
What happened? What's going on?
Can we switch things up real quick?
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Welcome to the Switch Initiative, guys.
Hey.
Chase, take it away.
I am now the proud owner of a Nintendo Switch.
Yay! Give that man a round of applause.
Switch Talk is launching in November. Is that what you said?
Eddie's like, me and Eddie were talking earlier today. I was like, we're gonna have to play some. He's like, I don't have any of the games you have. We're not playing. I was like, oh, okay.
Hold up. Eddie said that to you?
I got you, bro. I got you.
Eddie, you don't have Mario Kart?
He doesn't. He has Zelda though. He has Breath of the Wild. So
Well, yeah, I mean,
Come
that's,
on.
so I bought 4 games. So it's funny, Germani, when did we talk about this? It was one random evening. Me and you were having a chat with a beer. You had something, and I was talking through like, what games should I get on the Switch? And I was talking out loud, and you're like, he literally said, "Chase, is this even a fucking question?" He goes, "The first one absolutely has to be Breath of the Wild." Like, come on, dude. You said, Germani was coming at me. I was like, all right. So I'll have that marked down. And then I decided that there they are.
All right. He got Pokemon. He's got Shield.
Oh, is that Shield?
Yeah, he's got Shield.
Yeah. So then I said, what other games?
Sword.
Sword. Okay,
It's Sword. I'm like, what other games would I want to play? So my wife has always wanted to play Mario Kart, so I got Mario Kart.
Eddie, Mario Kart, Eddie. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Mario Kart.
Yeah.
God, I lost train of thought. Pokemon Shield. So that's one that I've wanted to play more so because that's the Ghost Gym. So I wanted to be able to play that version of Pokemon.
It's a fun gym.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last game is Animal Crossing. And that was because my wife wanted to play that. So I've got a really good lineup of games, I think, to start. Lots of content. I'll be able to put a lot of hours in, so I'm excited about that. And everyone was asking which version of the Switch did I get. I got the Neon, so it's the Neon.
Red and blue.
Yep. So I'm excited. It's I haven't really been excited about a console, and I've always wanted a Switch, and I don't know what it is. Like, there's something about it that just I'm like a kid at Christmas a little bit. I'm like, it's a different type of feeling. It's not like the PlayStation. I don't even know how to explain it to anybody. It's just the fact that I can be off the grid and play and enjoy the experience and then dock it. And it's like Stadia, but again, it's an offline experience. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm excited about it.
So which one did you pick up? Did you pick up the Light, or did you get the?
He said the Neon.
I got the Neon. Okay. I got the full. So just so everyone knows, and this may be information that people might want to hear if you're interested in a Switch, you cannot buy them anywhere by themselves. They are out. They are gone, like literally until October. The only way you can get one is if it's a bundled pack. So if it's one that has the game included, GameStop is selling them right now. You can get them. But you can only purchase them online. That's the only way to get it.
Aren't they usually part of a bundle too? Is it just actual? Okay, because I know I've seen GameStop do this where like they have limited editions of like say the Switch, but they always put like a case with it and they upcharge you like.
Okay.
No. What they did is they had a overstock. I guess is what when I talked to the person on the phone from the GameStop customer service, they were like, "Oh, well, we're just moving the unit." So I think what happened was they had a bunch of like extra stock of 1 games, 2. It comes with a screen protector for the top of the Switch and then the Switch itself. So I think what they were doing is they were just like, we need to clear this out before October when we get more units in, because it's going to be, you know how the pallets are. They just get 1 pallet. It's got all of them on it. They want to get everything that's in the warehouse out. So I was like, you know what? If they're selling it, I'm buying it. And if that's the only way I can get it, I'm buying it now. I'm not waiting until October. So it was an extra $50, but I think it was worth it, considering the circumstances. And they're shipping it to me in 2 days. That's freaking crazy.
That's amazing.
Eddie was like, "What? 4-day shipping?" I was like, "Yeah, they're literally
in the middle of a pandemic."
It's crazy.
They're quick, yeah.
It's FedEx too, man. Like FedEx is on point. They're handling their business. So it'll be here tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'm gonna take a video of it, and
nice.
Over the weekend when we do the Patreon podcast for Unfiltered, I'm going to actually give it to Eddie so we can show it during the podcast. So
nice.
That's awesome stuff. Let's see here. Where'd it go? MM, did you want to talk about the GeForce Now link you were sending me?
Yeah, no, I put that in there as part of our discussion as far as Stadia the next 6 months.
Okay.
Just as part of like the strategic discussion, so we can hold on to that.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. So next up on the quick list here was Gamescom. That's coming up here in just a couple days. So should be expecting some sort of announcements here. Do you guys have any expectations from Gamescom? Like,
It's so soon. That's awesome. 'Cause normally, ain't it like October or something like that?
No, it's August.
Is it?
That's August. Okay. Well, then I'm so stupid.
Oh, come on, Evan.
No, that you know what's dope though is that IGN is going to be covering it, and I don't like IGN, but Gamescom is in Germany, so I always had difficulty following it. But if IGN is going to cover it, maybe there's a lot more material that I'll be able to follow. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Eddie, was there something on Gamescom you wanted to touch on as well?
Oh, look who's presenting.
Yeah, it's opening night live.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh.
Shut it down,
Guys.
Actually, no, I think it's gonna be cool. I think we're gonna be see Call of Duty on this event, right, Brian?
Yeah, that makes most sense. August. Oh no, you won't. Because the teaser is on Wednesday and this doesn't start till Thursday. So, well, I mean, you might still see something about it, but not the debut of it, at least.
Actually, is it a teaser? Because we just saw the teaser. I thought we were gonna get like trailer or something.
They're dropping a on Wednesday. They're dropping the reveal. So Thursday could actually be like a demonstration of maybe the beginning of the game. You never know.
That'd be a good start.
So you asked what you think the expectations are for this? Is that what you were asking?
Do you have any expectations?
I think we get some game information from this. I just don't know the scope, because with all the things that have been pushed back, I really don't know that this is going to give us a whole lot as far as anything.
I can suggest something we will get based on the logos I'm seeing.
Oh, fire away.
There's an Activision Blizzard logo, so we're gonna get Call of Duty.
Okay.
There's an Ubisoft logo, so we're gonna get the next Ubi Forward.
Okay.
There's a Sega logo, so we'll be getting a Sonic game.
He's just
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think it's gonna be like a little, like in years past, Gamescom I think has overshadowed E3. I actually think it's been a better conference. I think this year this might just be like a small appetizer. I don't know that we're gonna get a lot of meaty details. That's what I was trying to say, and I just didn't articulate it well.
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, please.
All right. Well, I mean, these are big platform holders, obviously. So, yeah, I agree with the Activision Blizzard piece. With Ubisoft, yeah, I can see that too.
What could Bethesda be showing?
What's that?
What could Bethesda be showing?
What could Bethesda be showing? That's a good question. I'm trying to think here. Elder Scrolls 6?
Dare we say Elder Scrolls 6?
Nah, I doubt it.
Dare we?
It might be that. What's that game that's a timed exclusive for PlayStation?
Mm-hmm.
That Time Loop.
Oh well, that's already been confirmed to be. They pushed that back anyways.
Yeah, they pushed that, but they might be showing it there at Gamescom. Showing a slice of it.
I think the meatiest part of it's probably going to be Call of Duty. I think Eddie's right.
Actually, let me make my prediction on that. I back off. I think we're gonna hear Overwatch on that one.
Oh,
Blizzard involved. So we haven't heard anything about Overwatch 2 at all in a long time. So I'm still stay with the prediction that we will see Overwatch 2 on Stadia.
There was the launch of Overwatch 2 was at BlizzCon last year, which was around August.
Yeah.
BlizzCon
Last year?
Yeah.
Let me double check. Overwatch 2.
So there's Koch Media. Koch Media, I think it's behind
November. That's when it was.
Deep Silver publisher or studio. Koch Media, I think, is
Okay.
Is the company there, so we could easily see Windbound. Astragon, I actually don't know them. ESL, I actually don't know them, and Bandai Namco, I'm not sure what could be there.
Let's see here. ESL sounds familiar too. ESL does
I will research.
Oh, they're esports organization.
Then maybe we get a Call of Duty demonstration of the new game.
Estragon does the simulators. So farm simulator, bus simulator, construction simulator,
Hell yeah, let's
truck
go.
simulator.
But hey, that's a good segue. Flight simulator time, right? All right, Germani, tell us about it.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about, Flight Simulator and the way that the game has been built. A lot of the game, since it's the entire globe, it's real time weather changes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of it's being streamed to get the high detail and the models and the world and everything like that. That would be a game, or that type of game is what we should expect to see or hope to see on cloud-based infrastructure. That game really is like primed to be built on a cloud infrastructure because there's so much data you have to install on your PC, and it still has to run off of the cloud. You know what I mean? So to have that kind of game built around the cloud would be perfect. And it just reminds me of the stuff that Google was talking about initially with their ideas and plans and potential with the cloud. You know what I mean? That game right there it really makes me think of that. Yeah. That's what I would say.
Have you been able to play it yet?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not installing that on my PC.
Be ready, Germany. I can tell you something. So I was with this past Thursday, and I was speaking to the guys, and I said, you know what? Let me go here, sign up for Game Pass for 1 month to give it a try. It's $1.
Yeah.
And then I started downloading it.
Yeah.
The thing is, my SSD drive, I didn't have 120 gigs free.
Oh, wow.
That's how heavy it is.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to install on my HDD drive, which is I had space and a lot of space on that. So it took 2 hours to install. I have a good internet connection, so the download was going. I didn't have any problem installing, but running that kind of game on an HDD, it took a while to run every single time that it would go again another iteration. It will take a while to load, but graphically wise, the game is amazing.
Oh yeah. I have no doubts that the game is phenomenal. But again, it makes me think of the fact that we do have this complete cloud gaming infrastructure here that could make a game like that small potatoes. You know what I mean? Because we wouldn't have to worry about any of that. It'd be all done on their end, and so I think that kind of them building that game, I'm really sure that they were looking at the cloud like, man, we really want to start moving in this direction because what we want to do and what we're able to do on the cloud side of things, it just makes it something that looks way more appealing to developers. I'm sure they're looking at doing something like that. So yeah. That's really all I wanted to say. Anybody could,
Yeah. There you go. All right. Now we got the next 6 months for Stadia, right?
Yep. So I know there's a lot of talk in regards to where is the platform headed. Now, and we all have different perspectives on where they may be going, what's their game plan. But one thing that we can admit is that their game plan is not really transparent. I'm sorry, Brett. I didn't mean to cut in. But that's one thing that needs to be taken in perspective. And I presented this piece of information here is to pretty much say, to underline something I've been saying, is that as far as being a premier platform, if you look at where Stadia is at now in 14 countries, but then you look at competing platforms like even GeForce Now is in 71 countries in comparison. Like I wouldn't expect a big push as far as getting your CODs, getting your road companies, all those games until they expand the markets that they're in. So I just wanted to put that out there for comparison.
Yeah, weren't you talking about Eddie, the expansion maybe coming around November, or weren't we talking about that yesterday?
Oh,
like with Brazil and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I do believe it. They hinted on Twitter that They plan to share more information about other countries still this year.
Yes.
So I do believe that the next Connect, supposedly happening on November, supposedly happening close to November 19th, aka 1 year anniversary.
This is just your speculation, correct?
Yeah. Completely speculations, guys. Completely my head. I don't have anything to back it up. Supposedly announcing more countries as well. But to the point of this list from NVIDIA, it's impressive, the amount of countries there. And even if we compare to Stadia, there are a lot of countries on this list that Stadia could have been implemented as well, just because it's small countries on Europe that it would add a +1. Again, when I'm saying small countries, I'm talking about territorial size of the country.
Gotcha.
And since Stadia has the infrastructure already kind of next in terms of distance from these countries, it could release. So yeah, again, there are people playing NVIDIA GeForce now in Brazil already, and it's not a supported country.
Yep.
Do they have to do a workaround, or they just download VPN? That's fine.
VPN.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So I mean, you're able to do it; it's just not officially supported.
Yeah.
So
the ping could be very bad.
Yeah. So outside of countries, what do you think is in the next 6 months for Stadia? Do you think that the platform will be pretty much the same thing when we look at February, March time?
What's this? When is Stadia launch? Stadia launched in November. I've always said, I've always held to the belief, and I've seen some things that led me to believe to it even more, that the first 12 to 18 months of Stadia are simply that, for data collection. I mean, this helps solidify it. GeForce now is making a bigger push to be an all-around premier product. Whether it's a platform or not is another thing, but they want to be a premier product. They're going all to the gusto. They're getting the games. They've collaborated with Epic to give you a fairly decent free game lineup every week. So they're full throttle. Stadia is going at a steady pace. And we don't know when their 2.0 date is or whatever. But so I think we probably got 6 more months of what we see. We might see Uplay. I think we'll see Uplay Plus. We might see some mentionings of Gen 2.0. But I think until we get to that 18-month plateau, we're still gonna see slow and steady.
Let me add something to that. I saw Duncan tweet this earlier, or retweet it. I don't know if you guys had seen it. This was in response to someone asking about 8K and 120 frames per second. So this is what Stadia said. Hi, Dustin. Thanks for the tweet. While we're supporting 4K 60, we're looking to support 8K 120 down the road. Stay tuned for updates and announcements.
Absolutely. So, yep.
Oh, we got that already, right?
Yeah, they talked about that at GDC. Well, that was in 2019.
Yeah.
Back in March when they announced it, Stadia.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, Eddie said back in March when they announced Stadia. So, man, I've been trying to put my thoughts together on this one because I think it's a really good question about where the trajectory is of the platform going forward. I think the rhetoric coming from them, their marketing push, and again, I'm speaking from the background that I do in marketing and business.
Yeah.
I don't know that what they're saying publicly matches what they're doing behind the scenes. And that's a problem. Now, I'm not trying to go down the road of negativity, but I want to try to explain why I'm saying that, is that we need to get a better idea of publicly what their position is, because there's only one person that's openly said it, and it was in an interview that, in my opinion, is obscure. I guarantee you half of the Stadia community didn't see it, and I guarantee you none of the general consumers saw it, which was the interview Jack Buser did with IGN. And I think MM's absolutely right. This is nothing more than a data collection phase. They wanted to get ahead of the competition, and this thing really should have stayed in the oven, baking, in my opinion, as far as early access and the beta piece. But we can't change time. It is what it is. Yeah. So at this point, I think we just need a roadmap. That is absolutely number one. Mm-hmm. We need more transparency. And as long as that happens, then every person, both within this community on the outside, can make and decide what they want to do when it comes to this platform. And then here's the real test, y'all. We can all sit up here, and I think most of you all would agree with this statement. We can all sit up here and give our opinions on this. Yeah. But at the end of the day, what's the only thing that's going to drive Stadia to make changes? It's whatever the consumers do. Yeah. If consumers start walking from this platform, if they don't start adopting this platform due to the way that Stadia is going about it, then that's what's going to drive them to make a change. So I think the real statement here for me is we just got to wait and see what they're going to do, because at this point, the only way that this is going, we're going to see change, or we're going to see what the movement is it's going to be dictated by the consumer marketplace. That's really it. I mean, there's nothing more that can be said about it. You know, MM and me can disagree about which way we think they should go, but at the end of the day, MM, I think you'd agree with this. Our opinions really don't mean jack crap, because what's going to happen is what's going to happen. Either consumers are going to walk to it or they're not. And whatever Stadia chooses to do, they're going to choose to do. There's really not much we can say about it. I mean, I know that's a really simple statement, but it is what I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying. Before I don't want to say respond, but before I add to that, because it's a very valid point, let's let the panel go through, because I'll try to share what I can share. Again, I hate to seem like I'm the magical wizard with the old secret book, but just to try
you were hitting with that ish today, and I was like, my man, listen, you can't be putting the tea leaves out like that and not telling people what the hell you got back behind the scenes, brother.
Yeah, I'll try to touch on it without getting people in trouble, but yeah, go ahead. It'll be interesting to hear what the whole panel feels about this.
How about you, Tremonti?
In the next 6 months, man, I think that they're going to start moving out of the whole data collection phase.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't expect it to be anything, world changing or anything like that. Just more games, establishing more relationships, and trying to buckle down on being taken more seriously in this space.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. So I'll just kind of piggyback off you, because next 6 months, I don't see anything groundbreaking either. I do think we'll obviously start to see the rollout of features. I'm hesitant to say that direct streaming will be available even in the next 6 months. I think this first year is kind of like the growing pains year. I'm still fine with not getting games day and day. So if Cyberpunk's not there day and day, I can understand that. It's a heavy game to develop. Even the EA title games. So that being said, I hope I might start tightening that leash a little bit once November comes next year. If we're not getting like Madden 22 day and date, if we're not getting Call of Duty at that point, I might start to be like, okay, something's awry over here. Because even the Wii U, I think someone pointed out in the chat that even the Wii U got a couple Call of Duty games too, and that had to be dumbed down for that platform specifically. So I just want to over speculate myself, so I don't hype up myself and get disappointed because of it. So I'm not thinking anything too groundbreaking. I don't think a Gen 2 may be ready just yet. I hope to be wrong, of course, but I think Baldur's Gate's going to be kind of our step into that door maybe a little bit, just considering the size of the game, the scope of it. So that's kind of what my theory is on that.
Summer 2021.
See, that would be a fair guess for like a 2.0, or just an increase of the power behind Stadia as well. So. Who did I skip? Meg, did you go yet?
No, I didn't go.
No. Okay, go ahead.
Next 6 months, I think we're going to see features and expansion. I think that's what it's going to be. They've done a great job with games. We have too many games now. We have a big mix of like big AAA games, either released or coming, and tons of little indie games. And just they have gone overboard with the pro games each month. I can't keep up anymore. I was trying to keep up and I can't anymore. We need to make our predictions. Is that what that is? That is? I know we did. We skipped step 5 or whatever.
Oh no.
So I think they're
Captain
going to
Rogers,
show us,
you
like,
failed us.
I'll cut this in somehow into the actual audio podcast. All right. September Pro predictions. I'm going to go ahead and
let's do it.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Meg, since you were talking.
I don't know. Don't start with me. You
Okay.
guys go, and then I'll just pick one from each of you to form my answer.
Smart move. Smart move.
That's cheating right there. So let's make our predictions for the September Stadia Pro games. I'm gonna go ahead and remind you guys so you guys don't forget. You'll have 2 free ones, 2 like bonus spaces, if you will. Hello Neighbor and Hitman 1 are going to be Stadia Pro games on September 1st. So you don't have to say that too. So just add to it, or not add to it because maybe you think there's only going to be 2. So who wants to go first? Who's brave enough to say I am going to?
I'll go first. This is going to be easy. This is going to be easy. So on top of the 2 that you just gave, I think the other 2 will be Serious Sam 4. And then the other 2 will be Serious Sam 4, and the other one will be, dare I say, Baldur's Gate. I'm going to go on Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, that's crazy. It's early access. I could totally be wrong on that. I likely am. But I'm going to go with it because, I'm a man of many risks.
So we'll get 2 at the beginning of the month and 2 at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Okay. Chase, you're nodding your head yes a lot in that one.
I think we get 5. I'm gonna make a bold one.
Yeah.
So I think we get Hello Neighbor, we get Hitman, we get Serious Sam 4, we get Baldur's Gate. I'm gonna throw my wild card in. I'm gonna say Gunsport.
Damn it!
Every time.
That's what you get for not speaking up, Jamani. That's what you get.
Jamani's like, no one's gonna say Gunsport. I forgot.
I was like, oh, I'm good.
Jamani.
Yeah,
You wanna go next?
I'm just gonna have to like copy and paste Chase. All right, that's it. Yeah, absolutely. Gunsport. I mean, all those and Gunsport was my extra. I wasn't gonna say 5 though. I was gonna stick with the 4. So
What ones are excluded?
I was just gonna go with. I didn't think Serious Sam would be. I thought that the early access would be a pro thing. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so Gunsport and Baldur's Gate. While Meg is cheating on this game for chat, Eddie, what are your predictions?
Might as well go make a coffee, Meg.
I already did. You can't see it, but
am I the last one to go already?
Technically, no.
So we will get El Hijo.
Oh,
All right.
oh yeah.
That's actually a good shout, by the way.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We will get.
What's he looking at? He's looking at something.
Yeah, I'm looking at Stadia Source, but
Someone's on Stadia Source. I got to get on this website.
and I'm gonna go with Bomberman R Online.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That's really a tough one. Yeah.
The El Hijo one though is a good one. I think.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I think Bomberman's going to be money. I think you're going to pay for that.
That's money right there. Bomberman is a surefire hit.
Meg, have you had enough time to, or do you want me to go first?
No, you go, Brian. You go.
Okay.
Go, Brian. Go. Go, Brian. Go.
All right. As I cheat over here and look at the list too.
You both should be disqualified. All 3, Brian, Eddie, and Meg. Done.
Hey, I just do want to say this, by the way. That I have always looked at this list every time we pick it.
Lies. It's
What?
lies.
I never look at a list.
You lying?
There's a list?
Why do you want to lie? I'm telling you. All right, number 1. All right, Dead by Daylight. Number 2.
Ah, Dead by Daylight.
See, this is why I don't want to go. No, she's gonna steal it too. All right, so Dead by Daylight's gonna be one. I had it. I don't think Serious Sam will be it. Baldur's Gate. I'm gonna go with no on that either. Destroy All Humans is finally gonna show up. We're gonna find out why we haven't heard about it because it's gonna be a pro game. Okay. It's just a really random guess for me. And then let's be even more wrong and say Republic. Go with that.
Okay. All right.
Republic.
Republic.
Oh, we forgot about that game.
I ignored that one. Yeah.
I didn't because I'm looking at my list.
Okay,
I'm just looking at.
Okay, Chris Jericho.
Okay, all right. Okay, I have a few guesses. Guys, don't
Well, now
laugh.
she does.
now I have some ideas.
Very good.
Dead by Daylight, I think, is a good guess. I was gonna say that because I saw that on this website and thought of it right at the exact same time that Brian said it. So a huge coincidence. El Hijo, yeah, I could see that. I would love that game. Chris is right. Chris says Meg's internet is so slow she can't cheat on time. That is exactly what happened. All I have are a bunch of squares. A bunch of squares loaded up with no images in it. So what did I say? I said Dead by Daylight, El Hijo, and then one of those old ones that we heard about ages ago, but then we haven't heard anything like Republic or Gunsport or one of those. Bomberman is probably a good guess because I think they want as many people as possible to have that because it has that 64-player mode. So I think they're really going to want to show that off. So they're going to give it to us for free. And a surprise guess that none of you said.
All right.
GTA 5.
Oh my God.
Really? For Chris's help. All right. All right. Do you seriously mean GTA 5?
Yes. Stealth drop.
Could you imagine?
Stealth drop. Pro game. Everybody gets it for free. Everybody goes crazy, and we're all pew pew.
Hey,
so,
Pew pew.
a good question, Meg. When you're saying pro game, you're saying September 1st or during the month of September?
how come no one else got asked that specific question? Do I get asked that specific question because I cheated and now I have to answer?
No. It's because you guessed a random game that's not been announced yet. That's why.
Right.
It's been rumored, according to
by
Rockstar Mag Twitter random account.
Because we all follow that one.
Watch that game drop. She's gonna come on with her cup of coffee and a disco ball in the background. Be like, I told y'all.
I called
None of my
it
business.
at any point in September. At any point, these guys guessed Baldur's Gate, which is coming out September 30th. That shouldn't even count.
It does count.
I mean, it's in September.
I don't think that will happen. Why?
I
Do you
don't
think
either.
they'll give it to us for free in September?
Yeah, $45.
I don't think so.
I got a question here. I got a message on Facebook. Baldur's Gate is coming to Stadia and Steam.
Yes.
Will Baldur's Gate be available on GeForce Now?
I doubt it.
Is Divinity Sin and Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 on there? No, it's not. It's not.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, I doubt it. Especially
I'll double
'cause
check right now.
Stadia funded that game. Hell to the no.
Yeah,
Hell
I was
to
just getting ready to say, as far as early access is concerned,
Yeah.
you
exactly.
are not going to see this on anything
Yeah.
other than Steam and Stadia. That is
Exactly.
a guarantee.
Yeah. Now after that, to Chase's point, because
But
Larry had said, remember Chase? They said we're not playing that exclusive game. Once
Yeah.
it goes to retail. So
I do think that, again, there's some deal that happened here where money changed hands and Stadia did pay to make sure that somehow there's some type of
Many
special
games
array-
are available on GeForce Now.
They are.
Baldur's Gate is?
No.
Divinity, the Divinity, yeah.
So that goes to over this way. That goes to MM's point that once the game launches, I think GFN could absolutely happen. But there's just this feeling in me, and the way that Sven has talked about Stadia. If you listen to the way he talks about it, I just have this gut feeling. I'm just going with my intuition that this thing is going to be free in early access. They want to give people a reason to come try it out over on this platform and to try to get them hooked. I just have a gut feeling. I'm telling you.
To add to that gut feeling, I do have the gut feeling that's gonna be available on Stadia, and when it launches on Stadia on September 30th, we already have crowd choice.
That'd be interesting.
And now we've got bubble guts.
Yeah. Because when is Dead by Daylight coming out? And we know that there's crowd choice in that.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Isn't it coming in September, or am I just thinking
Yes,
that?
it's coming in September. But let me. I'm gonna ask the same thing as I asked. I think. I don't remember if it was here or it was anywhere else. Anyway, do you guys think there's a chance of Dead by Daylight arriving in September without crowd choice available?
Yeah, it's possible.
Oh,
I guess there's always a
come
chance,
on.
So you're saying?
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
Right?
All right. So, how percentage wise?
75%.
I'm
Holy
75. Wow. I'd
listen.
say 15% chance.
They never said in that, and this is where you got to be really careful. They never said in that video when we got that Connect that was coming with the game at launch. They just showed it.
Yeah.
And they did this, they did this before, remember, with crowd play.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful to not get pulled into that automatically means that it's going to come day to day with the game.
You're just referring to crowd play. Hold on. Say that sentence again.
So and I know this was GDC, but just hear me out. They showed that and implied that and the way they said it, I don't have the language, but they said, when we start launching games, these are features that we're going to be bringing. So you have to be careful because it could have been a hype element, which is fine. That's their right to do that. It doesn't mean that feature is going to be ready at launch with the game. It needs to be, in my opinion, because that's the impression you gave. Mm-hmm. But I would not take that to the bank. The only reason I'm saying 75% is I'm going off of past precedent. Maybe they shock us and they show us something different, but I'm just trying to be
ridiculous.
I'm trying to see how they worded it. If they just said coming.
Mad over this.
I'm sorry, Meg. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to be honest.
All right, so we're getting cross-platform right off the gate.
I'm gonna get crucified on this one. Oh God.
Yeah, cross-platform of this game is coming soon.
It's already been, I think, updated for the other platforms that are currently out, but this one. So here's the
Stadia exclusive features.
So this is, I'm pretty sure, the only way they reference it by saying crowd choice and then crowd play eventually.
That's it right there is the crowd play.
No, that's crowd choice.
Oh,
that's crowd play.
Play with your favorite streamers.
I don't know. When I see that, I don't see that as a coming soon feature.
September 2020. Come on.
Wait. That's the date the game will arrive.
And here's another thing, Meg, to keep in mind. We've not seen them test what? Crowd choice. It hasn't been tested yet. The only thing that's been tested is crowd play. And you're only a month out.
There's no letter saying anything.
That is true.
It just is credits. So like they're crediting Netflix.
Am I right about that, MM? We have not seen anything crowd choice.
Yeah. And they didn't say down at the bottom there that crowd play, crowd choice coming soon.
Yeah, it didn't say I don't know, because you think you'd have that kind of.
But if you look at past precedent, other games that had certain features. I don't know. Was there any game that came that had a feature added later?
Well, but Stream Connect got launched without doing any kind of.
Yeah. Right. But to Chase's point, it would be odd for them to test crowd play without testing crowd choice. To me, crowd choice is the more integral, more complicated feature. So you would think they would test that if they're going to test crowd play. They would be testing that as well.
And why? Here's the other thing. And if that was the intent, you would think that they would do early access copies of this game to a select group of people. Mm-hmm. And have them do both. You know what I'm saying? Like have them test the crowd play, make sure that the functionality works, and do the crowd choice. And we've heard nothing.
Testing though. I mean, they could do that.
They could be doing. Yeah, they could be doing testing. Yeah, but
what we know, it's when streamers are using crowd choice or crowd play on YouTube right now, the specific account have been selected to have the options available on Stadia. So once that game is out, maybe those specific accounts again or other specific accounts will be able to use those features. Like for instance, we know that Just Dance will have crowd choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a really good shout. That makes a lot of sense. That might be their strategy. Is it will not be accessible to everybody, but to a very small group of people. And then later in the year, they fully launch it. That makes sense. I mean, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this would be the first time we've gotten a trailer for a new game that would have these features. So if it's not going to be ready at launch, why even show it?
Right.
I mean, it says Stadia exclusive features, and then it says September 2020.
Right. I mean,
so if that is not what happens.
They could just make mentions of it, you know what I mean? Yeah, and not actually show the feature being utilized.
Advertising.
Yeah.
See, this is what I was talking about earlier about the. Damn it, MM, you may have to help me out here. This is what I meant by the door on the front of the building doesn't match the interior. Like what we're seeing them say out in public, regardless of whether that's what their intent is or not, they're saying something differently out in the public than really what's happening, I think, behind the scenes. And that's got to get tightened up. Like, you can't put this out there, I agree with Meg, and imply to a consumer that you're going to get this, but then in reality, you're not. It gives the wrong impression.
So in their defense, you are going to get this. Not up front, but you still are going to get this.
But
whenever we release.
But marketing 101, you have to, one of the number one rules that's in marketing when you first do marketing classes is your consumer that you're marketing to, you can never make an assumption. You have to be implicit, you have to be clear, and you have to be concise in the message. If any of those points are vague, you're going to lose the consumer. They're not going to be engaged with you. So I would dare argue that this, if it turns out to be like that, you've provided a message that's not clear and concise and is vague and is very much open to interpretation, that this is what's coming in September. So I don't know that I can agree with that. I just was trying to start off by saying, like, I don't know that we're going to get this in the beginning, but
75%, Chase. 75%.
I really do, man.
Damn.
I agree
We
with
have
Chase.
little faith.
I agree with Chase that as far as what traditional marketing is, but I will say this, that unfortunately the gaming industry, for lack of a better term, is founded on some sleazy practices as of late, and they're not transparent. I mean, let me give you an example. Again, I'm not trying to throw blame at somebody else whenever Stadia falls
Craig the Brute.
But yeah, Craig the Brute. And then look, we were talking. No, Eddie, I'm going to use that as an example. Well, no. I'll save that for later. But what I will say is, like, the xCloud commercial. Remember that xCloud commercial? We were so mad that Stadia didn't come out with first. If you watch bits and pieces of that xCloud commercial, there are segments where it looks like that the person is playing on a laptop, but what it is it's just an extractable tablet. Right. And that, again, is left for interpretation. Holy crap, I can play, holy shit, I can play this on my tablet, or my laptop. No, you can't. But that's the gaming industry right now. So I caution everybody to what Chase is saying. Leaving everything vague and into interpretation, it's corporate doublespeak. Phil Spencer has been living off of that. He made $10 billion off of that in 2018. So we just got to be very careful. I'm at like 50-50 with it, but I wholeheartedly understand where Chase is coming from with 75%. I wouldn't expect it at launch to be, I wouldn't expect it to be globally launched for everybody when the game comes out.
Uh-oh. Brian's
We shall see.
I don't know.
We shall see.
I
think it is.
You do think it's not coming, or you do?
No, I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah. God. I can't imagine what kind of storm would happen if it doesn't launch with it.
Can I throw one other point in here about the marketing thing?
Yeah.
Just real quick. Damn, I wish I had the article. I shared it earlier, and I had the line in my head and I lost it. But basically, companies right now, they're seeing such large turnover in situations where there's been a lack of transparency and a lack of communication. And the number one area where it's been happening has been internet service providers. I wanted to just say to MM's point, it has been a sleazy industry for a very long time, but I think we may be at a turning point, especially with this whole Epic and Apple saga. This may be the beginning of where consumers say, we're over this. You guys want to act like this? We'll take our business elsewhere. You may see, this may be the year where that turning point happens. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Possible. All right. Anything else, guys? Meg, do you have a point that you want to make? I saw you're kind of...
Meg is just mad.
Right at the jump.
She's pissed. She is pissed.
But
you're getting angry
honestly,
over
Look what you've done, Chase.
yeah. But the thing is that it happened already, because in June 2019, when Stadia was first announced, they made it seem like it was going to launch, if that's correct. I think that's when I saw this. That's when I learned about Stadia. it seemed like it was going to launch with all these features. And I bought the Founders Pack edition because I was hyped over things like crowd play and crowd choice and streamer. Or wait, no, crowd. Yeah, those features. I was excited, and it was cloud gaming, and I thought that was really cool. So I bought it, and here we are, kind of inching up on 1 year since it launched, and we still don't have any of those features. We don't even have chat. So I wouldn't be surprised if this Dead by Daylight game launches and it doesn't have those features, because they made it seem like already Stadia would have them already. So I wouldn't be surprised to be misled by another advertisement that made it seem like it was in there and it isn't yet. However,
hey, Meg, holy shit, we don't have chat. You were 100% right. Like, I just thought about that. We don't have a voice chat, like a voice message, or text message.
There's no chatty chat. So, like, come on. So I wouldn't be surprised now if it doesn't, but it should, because it sounds like it will. But it sounded everything. I don't know.
All right. So, to the point of why I brought this to the conversation, it's we saw The Last Connect, Bomberman, and we saw Dead by Daylight, and they said coming with Stadia features. So those Stadia features are there, which doesn't mean that's going to be available at launch. That's what Stadia could defend themselves, saying, yeah, those features will be available on these games once those features are available. But we never said that these features will be available when this game launch. So that's why I'm saying
that trailer, though, it says crowd play, crowd choice, and then it says September 2020 at the end of it. Well, but they said that before. They said launching November 19th, and then it had all this stuff, and none of it was there. Oh my gosh, how am I going to sleep tonight?
I refer back to Stadia Cast, shout out to them, where they did an interview with the people from, I think it was Get Packed, where Get Packed was supposed to have crowd choice or something like that, or one of those features. And it was like, they were like, we're ready to go. It's just Stadia told us to hold on. You know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe they're telling people to hold on for this game, and then they're going to globally launch it everywhere. Who knows? But again,
I got the same from the creative people as well.
Yeah.
They said they are very well positioned to use all of the Stadia enhancement features, but they're just, they're ready.
Didn't Wavebreak have a little like broadcast page, like accidentally? So like we know that the developers are making these features.
Yep.
The good news is, Brian, like to say, it's we got the test for crowd play.
Yeah.
With MK11.
Yeah.
I do believe, as Chase said, we will have a public test with crowd choice with a few selected streamers so they can collect more data. And then all right, are we satisfied enough? Let's push the button.
Well, I mean, they shadow drop features all the time. Why can't they do it with this?
I have a theory. I had an offer.
It's because the features are integrated with YouTube in this scenario.
There it is. Eddie said it. It's on the YouTube side. That's what it is. That's the holdup. Because think about it, the deliverable can't happen just on the Stadia side. What if it's an issue where YouTube is basically dragging their feet, or they can't get it to work, or A, B, C, D, E, F, G? I mean that's more than likely what it is. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, Meg, what you said before.
Well, all right, let me ask you one more question. So, have we gotten a game trailer announcement that has actually touted a feature, not a GDC, like an actual trailer, like I just showed you? Is this the first time we've seen it? Because Get Packed didn't have it.
No, it's not. So Ghost Recon Breakpoint during the first Stadia Connect actually showcased it, and then that game was pushed back later in the year to make sure that all the features were in place while it launched, which is what's weird about that they waited to get that game further out at the end of the year to make sure Stream Connect was there.
Oh wait, Chase, when Ghost Recon Breakpoint arrived on Stadia? It arrived with Stream Connect.
Yeah, it arrived with Stream Connect.
But that's what I'm saying.
Hold on, repeat that. So
during an actual a trailer, or was it during a GDC or a demonstration?
It's in the Stadia Connect. So if you go back to the one from June, They showed
right.
They showed the full dun dun
Yeah,
dun
that's
dun, whatever, however that trailer went.
But to Brian's point, we haven't seen a trailer of a game. If we go to the YouTube channel of Stadia, there's not any other trailer for a game announced using these YouTube features.
Not
individually. Because again, that was shown. I remember you're right. Because Ghost Recon was shown in a compilation of games, and this feature was touted using that game as an example of that feature.
They had a separate trailer just for Ghost Recon by itself, also with that, by the way, that they posted separately. But what I was trying to point out is that the game, if I remember right, you have to go back and look at the timeline. I think it was supposed to come a little bit earlier, like maybe in October. And then they had to move it back a little bit because they were still working on integrating it and making sure everything was ready to go. How's it
going to release in October?
I'm sorry, I said October? It's supposed to launch in the. Damn it! I said it wrong. I'm so sorry. It was supposed to launch in a certain date in November, but it didn't get pushed back to the very end of November or December. When did it officially come out? I know I'm
looking it up right now.
I don't know why I said October. Sorry.
I was like, hold on, wait. Why would they push it back?
Because Ghost Recon Breakpoint released I think a few days after Borderlands 3.
Yeah, December 18th is when it came out.
There you go. So it was supposed to launch in November, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, then they pushed it back. Description coming to Stadia in November.
Yep. They pushed it back because they were still working on optimization and these features. So
did they actually come out and say that?
I believe so. I remember that.
Yeah, they said something to that effect. I don't know that they specifically said Stream Connect, but they said optimization and features, which would lead you to believe that, well, what is Stream Connect? A feature. So you would think that was in that process.
But it launched day and date.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Okay, let's see.
So Brian, I'm just double checking here the whole list of games announced on Stadia. I haven't seen any trailer saying, these features will be available.
The Bomberman shows crowd play in action. The Bomberman trailer.
Yeah, so Bomberman and Dead by Daylight are the ones who show these features.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of games here on the trailers, but none of them is showing any Stadia feature.
So that makes it appear that they should launch with the features.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Up here.
I mean, Ghost Recon being the only game with the special features.
I know.
Hey, and it launched. It launched with it.
So here's what I hear. We're gonna hope. You're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. I say 15%. I'm not going with the 75, man. Hey, good Lord. 0%
chance. We ain't playing Switch tomorrow, brother. You're done.
But I think it's a slim chance that they won't launch with it.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I do too.
But I don't know. See,
hey, I just landed a 360 flip.
Nice.
When is that game coming out, by the way? The dang Tony Hawk game. When is the demo coming out?
It's not. Unless you pre-ordered it digitally. So
what?
If you did,
I got it on Epic Games.
Huh?
I got the Tony Hawk's on Epic Games, so I should be getting the demo. I mean, they said
on PC. It's on PC demo though.
Yeah, man.
Well, check it out then. I don't know. Look it up.
Is it demo? All right, fine.
So on consoles, you have to digitally pre-order it to get the demo. Why would you offer a demo to people that pre-ordered it when you want to sell the game? Why don't you give it to people that don't have the game? I don't know. I guess it's a way to pre-order it or reason to pre-order it for some reason. But all right.
Really.
Anything else, folks?
I think everybody's a little hurt.
A little combat right there between everybody. It's not coming. It is coming. Why would it be in the trailer? It doesn't make
sense. I'm gone.
Egg was done.
Look at what you did. All right. Do you guys have anything else, Chase? Right? No? Is that a no? You guys are giving each other staring contests.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing.
Nothing? All right. I think that'll do it, guys. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us on a Friday night. It was a nice little talking with you guys. Unfortunately, it kind of started off bad, but then, I think we started hitting the positive notes after that. So I'm gonna go try and play PJ Tour. So hope you guys have a good night. Hope everyone. Good job, by the way. Hope everyone has a good night. Thank you guys for sticking around with us, and then of course, thanks for all the super chats, friends. That's just too much support. It's awesome stuff. So we'll catch you guys down the road, and we will see you next time we see you, which will be on the launch day of Tony Hawk, which I may not be able to show up, guys. I might be playing a little too much Tony Hawk. But Tony Hawk, NBA 2K21, and Avengers comes out in 2 weeks on that day. They're all celebrating episode number 11 of the Stadia Initiative, so they decided to do it that day. So, all right, guys, we'll catch you down the road. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Later.